Hello, guys. Are we live? I think we are. Yeah, we're live. Good evening to everybody. Right, a little bit unexpected. I don't have anything planned. It's going to be one of those streams where I'm relying on you guys. I'm working off the chat, okay? The only reason I'm doing it today is if it's the last Sunday of the month. And if you remember, Ed Sweeney and me, we're scheduled to do one today. I contacted Ed, but he's real busy at the moment because, you know, he's in Romania. He's doing his own thing and he can't really plan the time for a stream. We'll probably do one together next month. So I thought, why not? I'll have a go myself. But obviously, I've got work in the morning. So if I start at 9 o'clock and it goes on, then, you know, I'm not going to get up for work in the morning. So I thought I'd give it a go at 7 o'clock and see how we get on. But good to see a few of you in. I wasn't expecting huge numbers. Donald Trump says you're on the same time as Country File. Well, I don't want to. Oh, what's happening here? My screen's gone dark. Ah, we're back. Yeah. Okay. So let's say hi to everyone, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. Like I said, we haven't got any. I might be able to dig out the odd ladyboy competition. Let's see how it goes. Right, Martin Ryder, Evening Shaggers, Erwin Vlami, you know who we are. Ready? Let's get ready to rumble. Rumblebee Peter, I think you should. Okay, so I'll talk about this because I see there was a little bit of fisticuffs going on in the background there. So let me put that up on screen. So you're saying Rumble LB Peter, I think you should remind viewers to maintain full health insurance in both your home country and in Thailand. It may cost $1,000 a month, but it's peace of mind. Most viewers do not do it. So I seen the conversation you were having with Danish Bacon. I don't really want to take sides, but what I'll say from my side, honestly, and no offense to you, I think $1,000 a month is quite a stretch for most people. I mean, I'm looking at Pacific Cross, is it full cover when I go over to Thailand? It's a good level of coverage. It's everything's unlimited. You know, when you go into hospital, they charge you per day like a hotel. You'll get charged for all your every examination, all medicine, X-rays. You know, even if the doctor comes to have a chat with you, it's a consultation, you'll get charged. So I've got some good insurance in place. It's never foolproof because you know what insurance companies are like. You know, a lot of them, the ones that aren't as good, the first thing they do, they'll turn it down, so you have to fight them. But I agree with what you're saying in principle. Yeah, I mean, definitely, especially guys of our age. I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing as you're on this stream, you're not 22, right? So I would say, yeah, definitely, you need to sort your cover out. I mean, I know people who go to Thailand for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and they get their they get their insurance all tied in with their flight and everything from this, and that's fine. But if you're going out there for any length of time, then you need a real good insurance package. But really, $1,000 a month, I think that's beyond the reach of most people. I mean, I couldn't do $1,000 a month. If I had to pay $1,000 a month in insurance, then I wouldn't go to. I could scratch it together and survive, but you know, that's a lot. That is a lot. But you know, I'll end this subject on a positive before I see what you guys are saying. I'll end this on a positive note. You know, for £100, what's that? About $120 a month, you can get a great coverage, a great package. I've looked into many insurance companies, and I'm not getting any backhanders. Pacific Cross are pretty good. You know, maybe to have a look at them. Okay. All right. Oh, Passimo, I haven't seen you in for a while. 13 months. Time flies when you're having fun. As always, fun to be on the journey from a tiny little channel to YouTube. I wouldn't call myself a megastar, but yeah, we've missed you. We haven't seen you for a while. Good to have you in tonight. Right. Let me just say hello to a few more people. Boohoo, how you? I hadn't planned to drink today. Oh well. I don't normally drink to about 9:30, 10, but I think tonight it'll be a bit earlier. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to get pissed because I'm working, like I said, in the morning. Peter, I think you miss us. I do miss you. No, to be honest with you, I was scratching my head and I thought, you know what? I do this. I put the stories together over the weekend. It does take me the whole weekend, editing Saturday, recording Sunday. And then the worst thing is because you know, when I tell a story, it comes out smooth for half an hour. That's not how they come out in real life. You know, I have to cut. And I've done them. They're ready to go up tomorrow. And, you know, I thought I was sitting in the garden. It's a nice day. And I thought, shall I, shan't I? I thought, you know what? There's nothing on Netflix. I can't be bothered. I'll come and see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, I'll stay for a while. If it doesn't go so well, then I've tried, haven't I? Let me just say thank you to Brian. Thanks, Brian. I was quite, I'm not going to give away what we were talking about last night, but I was quite shocked when you told me what you told me. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. And the documentary was very good, but I think it was a little bit dated. And what I think I'll do, so it's not linked to you, I might tell people about it next week or the week after, because I don't want to tell people about that documentary while I'm talking to you, because I'll link it together, if that makes sense. All right, Brian, thank you. Okay, where are we? I'm always way behind in the chats, so you know what it's like, but I do like to say hi to everyone. Mickey Berkshire would love to join you, but Diana Ross at Glastonbury. Diana Ross, wow, okay, I can't compete with that. Danish Bacon, how you doing, mate? Right, let me just read what Ron said about the insurance. Don't judge for simply mass. It's roughly $700 a month in US and to. Okay, I won't get involved in the argument. Perhaps you meant perhaps you meant $100 a month. You put 1K, which means obviously $1,000, but perhaps you meant $100. That sounds a bit more reasonable. Okay, Paul Shackleton, evening, Peter. No, I didn't learn anything on 30 New Things Part 2, so pleased about that. Feeling well, prepared for 125 days time. Yeah, I mean, I had some whingers send me some comments. I just deleted them. You know, one guy wrote to me and he said, "Oh, this is all old hat. Everybody knows about this. Why are you making videos about this?" But you know, I mean, the way I look at it is, yeah, of course, there's lots of, you know, there is lots of videos on lots of other channels that are similar to the 30 tips now 60 tips. But you know, when you see the title, you know what's coming. If you've got your stripes and you're really experienced, you think, well, I don't need this, then just skip it. You know, you don't have to send me an email saying, oh, there's lots of old ones out there. And I had a guy, did I tell you this on Friday? I can't remember, my memory. I had a guy write to me, he said, oh, you've made up all these stories. You know, the stories I tell on Saturday morning. Unbelievable. Right, Gemini Star, how you doing? Nice to see you in. It's like Groundhog Day, isn't it? We're going on Friday for 3 hours, no less. And here I am back again. Okay. Lieutenant Columbo's glass eye. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. Who used to say that? Was it DeCamrino? Was it nice to see you? To see you. Nice. Christ. Nice to see you. To see. I can't remember who it was. Right. Ty Billy Boy. Nice surprise, Peter. Cheers. Greetings to everyone. Yeah. Good to have you in as well. You know, I just wanted to say, if you were in on Friday, you know that clip I showed of Damon taking off Ed Sweeney? He had the can and he was banging the hell out of it. You know, and he was like, so what's on the menu tonight? And it was quite fun. And Damon was nervous about it, but it went down extremely well. I think it did. All positive comments. And Ed Sweeney actually left a comment on the live stream. And he said something like, well done, Damon. I laughed out loud. So he appreciated it as well. But like I said, I did go to Ed and say, look, would you mind? It's not a Mickey tape. We're just having a bit of fun. Would you mind if Damon did this impersonation of you? And it went down a storm. So really good. Maybe I'll receive a few more impersonations. Who knows? You've got my email address. Send it in. And I can always edit it, put a little bit of a title, a little bit of a music, turn it into a mini movie like I did with Damon's. Okay, right, let's carry on saying hello. Leeds, how are you doing? I don't even know what that says. That guy could be swearing at me, but I'll put it up anyway. And if you're not swearing at me, welcome to the stream. Right, Gemini Star, sadly, there is a lot of small-minded people in the world. Okay, is that me or somebody else? Right, oh, you're talking about the comments I got. Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people, when they write to me, I suppose all the YouTube guys get it. When they write to you in such a way like you're on their salary payroll. I mean, you know, the thing is with YouTube, you watch it like I watch YouTube. I paid so I don't have any adverts. You know, at the beginning you get a 30-second advert and you think, right, here we go, and then a 5-second advert. Some people overdo it. You know, every 8 minutes there's an advert, and you think, for Christ's sake. And the worst thing is, if you're looking for stuff to, like, I'll flick through YouTube. I like watching documentaries and stuff like that. Well, I'm talking about when I'm sitting on a sofa, not here. And I got sick to death of the adverts because I chop and change. And, you know, you watch something, you think, no, this is crap. Go to the next one, crap. And then you finally get something. And but, you know, you got to wait for those adverts. So for £11.95 a month in the UK, it's called premium. I've got no affiliation. I'm getting no backhanders and there's no links or anything, but I pay it. And it's so good that I can just go on YouTube and not have all these adverts. And I've also got access to YouTube Music, which is very good as well. So if you get fed up with the adverts, we still get paid, because if we get some money from these adverts. Well, if somebody joins premium, there's no adverts, we get a percentage of that. It's not a huge amount of money, as I keep telling you, but it's all right. Right. Who's up there? Bend over, perfect timing, as is it heavy rain? And Oslo. I worked in Norway for about 6 months, bend over, really enjoyed it. I'm talking about 86, I think it was. I was in a place called, I'll probably pronounce it wrong. It's Buda, B-O-D-O. It's over the Arctic Circle. And what I remember is coming out of a nightclub at 3 o'clock in the morning. And not only was it daylight, but it was bright sunshine. And we used to go to the fjord and go fishing. And we used to get these fish called sei, massive. And when they come in the morning, it was like the water was boiling, you know, fantastic. And what shocked me back then is, you know, it's up there, there's a lot of countryside, but you used to get like young girls from the nightclubs, 3 in the morning, 17, 18, hitchhiking, you know, on country roads. And in England, that's really unsafe. I don't know if they still do it now, but good to you wish you hadn't told me you're in Norway, don't you? Right, Shinria, hi, how you doing? I seen you in a stream earlier, Shin. I can't remember which one it was. Jeffrey Yamoto, how you doing? Are you driving your truck? Okay, yeah. Barry from EastEnders, what are you saying? You clearly got mugged off for insurance. Oh, okay, you're talking to someone else. All right. I'll have to screen this. Franco is in the back. He's got COVID. Franco's caught COVID. He's in Europe and he's testing himself every day. I spoke to him today on the phone. He's feeling a bit crap actually, but he said it's just like having a cold. Okay, B71. Evening, Peter. Did the house? Yeah, house viewing did go well. Nothing's in the bag, is it? It's not. I don't want to count my eggs yet. But so basically, what happened? Had the house viewing on Saturday, the first one since I put it back on the market. I was listening. You know, they're going around all the rooms. I'm listening to what they're saying, but you never know because nobody comes around and says, "Oh, it's crap. I don't like the color of the walls and the garden shit." Nobody says that. They all give out the right. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Nice decor. Yeah, you've kept it nice. You know, normal sort of thing. But anyway, the estate agent, this is the 11th viewing, but this is the first since I put it back. The estate agent called me 2 hours after, this was on Saturday, and she said, well, they're basically going to make you an offer on it. They just need to talk it over because he sold his house and they need to get a mortgage, but they're going to make a formal offer apparently. And I've told her what's the minimum I'll take. I've knocked off about $5,000, which I think is fair. Anybody wants more than that, they're kind of taking the mickey a little bit. But let's see. Like I said, nothing's in the bag. I've got to wait. And if it comes off, great. If it doesn't, then we'll keep showing people it. Yeah, I liked your joke earlier. Peter, sipping on Lipton's today. Because on the 30 tips, I said, if you're English and you drink tea, take your tea bags to Thailand. Because all they have there is that yellow Lipton tea. I think it's American. Nothing against the Americans, but it's crap tea. We probably can't do coffee like Americans, but the tea that comes from over there. Anyway, I'll get stick now tomorrow when they all watch this. But it's a little yellow sachet. When you check into a hotel, it's always Lipton's. You have to put about 4 tea bags in, even to change the color a little bit. And El Terrifico must have watched the video and said he's got the online too. He has the legal team from Lipton's because I was slating it. All right. Martin Ryder, live from Monga Central. Yeah. Right. James. Hi, Peter and gang. Sorry to have missed the stream on Friday drinking. Yeah, that's fine. James, I'm not going to repeat the name of the channel, but the question you asked me earlier, I went and checked it out. And I was really surprised because, yes, it is him. And I'm surprised he's actually come back, if you know the full backstory. I won't say anything more than that. Right. It will be funny to see if he reaches out to me because I left a comment on one of his videos. I said, oh, you're back. I didn't know. Let's see if he because I used to promote him. Let's see if he comes back at me. Right, Peter Demeter, it's that Friday feeling. Yeah, it's Groundhog Day. My free TV box. What do we owe the pleasure? Boredom, really. Boredom. Look at the title: Unplugged, Unscheduled. Let's see who's around. All right, Danish Bacon. Eddie at the. I'll tell you one person we won't have in tonight. We won't have Damien in tonight because he's gone to see the Goodwood. They got the petrol heads over. You know, Goodwood is a very famous circuit in the UK. It's a Sunday, nice day. They've got a lot of stuff going on to do with cars, motorcycles, all that sort of thing. Damon's a bit of a petrol head. He likes his bike, so he's there today. So I doubt he'll be back for this. So no doubt he'll watch it later. Let me just say thank you to Paradise Life. That's very kind of you. A tenner there. I can do a lot with that. Thank you. And that will go in the box for next week probably. Right. Okay. Let's have a look who else is in here. If you've just joined us, welcome. As I said, I'm just working off the comments now, guys. Nothing too much planned. Let's see what you want to talk about. Right, where are we? Just finding out where I was. Oh, Boohoo says Ed got hammered last night. Did he do a stream? I'm actually I can't keep up with his channels. You know, he's got Eddie's, what is it, Dropbox or Music Box or something. Right, there's another super chat there. Let me just put that up and say thank you. Paul, I don't know what currency that is, RSD, but it doesn't matter. You've been very generous, and I do thank you. Congratulations on your first book. Just ordered my copy. Great tip on the fire exits on your last video. I would have thought about. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that. Yeah, that is really serious, because you wouldn't get away with that in like UK, stateside, Australia, those sort of places. I think now. Let me just get rid of that so I can. It's a good subject to talk about. You know, I'll say hi to everybody else in a bit. Let me just find where I was so I don't lose out. Right, I'll just put that up. So I'm sure everybody wishes Franco a speedy recovery. He's got COVID. Right, the hotels. Yeah, that was somebody sent me the link to it. I think it was called the Royal. It was in Jumpton, a hotel in Jumpton. It was called the Royal Paradise Beach, something like that. We're going back probably 10, 20 years. But what they did, this hotel, if you watch the points today, they actually chained their fire doors, okay, because people were skipping. You know, it was a cheapo hotel. People were going in with rucksacks, and then they were skipping and not paying the bills. So this hotel took it upon themselves to chain all the fire doors. Of course, what happens? They had a massive fire, and a lot of people died. Now, a lot of people got into trouble for that, quite rightly so. And one of the tips I said today, when you go into your room, you've got that plastic card, you are here, fire doors there. What I said is, look, go and check the fire door will open. Sometimes they're alarmed, but not so much in Thailand. But it is worth it. I do it all the time now. Even the hotel that I stay at, every time I go and check the fire door, because it was open last time, but next time maybe it won't. You got these doors with two metal handles, big long handles, and they put chains around it. Terrible. You can go and read up on it, but that be aware that's the sort of thing that can happen that wouldn't happen where you are. Paul Hoskin, how you doing? Nice, sensible comment you wrote earlier, Paul. Let me tell you a story. Who used to say that? Let me tell you a story. God. Let me tell you, Max Bygraves. Got you, Max Bygraves. Didn't think I'd get that, did you? Right, David M. Here is next week's answer to the Ladyboy competition, number 2. Yeah, all right, don't take the piss. That won't happen tonight. Right, RG. Hey, Peter, you're looking trim. How much weight did you lose? I've actually put some weight back on. What it is, I've noticed when I wear the polo shirts, I look really chubby. I don't know why, but when I wore the wife-beating vest a couple of weeks ago, that's a joke, by the way. I don't beat my wife. And when I wear stuff like this, I don't know, it makes my face look thinner, but I need to get back on the diet because I lost all that weight again, and I put some back on because we've had winter. You need more calories in the winter, even if you're not doing a lot. It's different in the summer. My eating is starting to slow down now. Stefano, great job, Damien. How's Peter's interpreter? Yeah, Damien reckons he's going to do one of me, so he can't take the piss too much because I won't show it otherwise. I would, actually. Right, Mazza. Peter, don't worry about doing videos that have been done before. Most of us watch and enjoy them because of you and the way you present videos. Yeah, that is actually true, Mazza, because when I went to Thailand in December, I said to a number of people, I said, well, I might go down to Patti to meet Trev and the boys. I said, but I'm not going to make any videos. I said, it's all been done walking down Walking Street, Soy 6 with a camera. I said, I've got nothing to add. And a lot of people wrote to me and said, no, you should do it because, yeah, it's been done, but not on your channel. You should do it. So, when I go to Thailand, I'd like some ideas what to do. I'm not sure what to do, because I'll be making videos in Thailand. I want to do stuff that's interesting, I think it will be a little bit girly orientated. Why not? Right, Steve P. It's too early for me to drink, Peter. I prefer the later live stream. I'm getting up for work, Steve. I can't. If I started at 9, I'll be here at midnight. I get pissed. I wouldn't get up in the morning, and 5 little kids wouldn't get to school, and I'd feel like shit all day. But look, it's 20 past 7. I don't normally have a drink till about 9:30. I'm going to have a drink about 8 o'clock. I've told myself tonight, if this goes well, I'll do a maximum of 2 hours to 9 o'clock because I've got to lock the house up and everything. If it doesn't go well, maybe an hour. We'll see. There's no kind of there's no agenda tonight. There's no rules. I'm just talking with you guys. We'll have a drink later. We'll see how we get on. Okay. I can't pronounce that. Anyone bragging that they've beat Thai scammers are setting themselves up to be robbed in broad daylight. I don't know what that's about. Right, go hopping. How are you? Had a tooth problem. Went to several of the small clinics on the streets and malls. Was told several times it was dangerous procedure and quoted 6,000. Went to hospital. Out for 2,030 minutes. Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying you had a tooth problem. You went to several of the small clinics on the streets and malls. Was told several times it was a dangerous procedure and quoted 6,000 baht. Went to the hospital. I didn't know the hospital did dentistry work, because when I was there, I had my teeth cleaned. You know, you might think I got dirty teeth. I haven't. What it is, because I'm old, my roots are showing through the bottom teeth, and I had them all cleaned. It was about 1,500 baht. But I didn't have a problem. I was in Soy 8. I crossed over Sukhumvit. I can't remember the number of the Soy, that way a little bit. And yeah, they did a good job. I didn't have any problems. I'd be interested to know what hospital you went to. I'll keep that in the back pocket. Yeah, Jeffrey says YouTube Premium is the way to go. Yeah, if you're a regular, if you watch YouTube a lot, because let's face it, there's nothing on TV. Netflix is okay, but a lot of it's dated, isn't it? And I like watching these stupid, these stupid pranks. There's a guy who's got a fart machine. He's got 10 million subscribers. Fart machine, right? And what he'll do, he'll walk through a park and he'll let these farts off, and when he's next to crowds and girls, it's just, or he'll go into a library and he'll start eating crisps really loud. They are funny. I'll give him that. They are funny, but 10 million subscribers, unreal. Right, another super chat there. Eric Powell, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. When are we going to get a new cartoon? Now, that's something I'm looking into, because there are a lot of students in Bangkok that can do animation. I had somebody who I was working with. He sort of gave up on them. He didn't want to do them anymore. I can't do them because they're very, very complicated to do in the software. Plus, you've got to have a Thai girl. But when I get to Thailand, I'm not promising, but I am going to look into that, because they were really popular on the channel. You've only got to look at the 1 hour movie, Nat and Dave. It's had over 300,000 viewings in not even 4 months, So yeah, they are popular. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Okay, who haven't we said hello to? Way behind in these. Right, Ryan, I love your videos reading people's stories. I love your videos reading people's stories as I work out in my condo gym here in the Thailand. When are you back in Thailand? Well, thank you for the compliment, first of all. If my house does sell, I'm figuring it'll take about 3 to 4 months. I hope full-time October, November, that's it. But I think probably what I'll do, I'll take a month over there before then. I'll finish this job in 4 weeks' time. I don't have to stay. I'm self-employed for the council, but the thing is, I don't want to leave them in the in the lurch, because they didn't have any new drivers coming through while COVID was on. I don't burn my bridges on the way down. I might need them again one day, so I leave with a smile, shaking people's hands. I don't kind of sneak out the back door. But yeah, the job ends in 4 weeks. I was looking at ticket prices and stuff, but the thing that kind of puts me off a little bit is what's going on in the airports in the UK at the moment. They're really short of staff. Baggage handlers they've got luggage piled up in corridors and stuff, and let's see how that goes. Right, Franco, what are you saying? You're supposed to be ill. Go back to sleep. Right, stars still feel like crap. Just hope it clears up by Friday night next week. Yeah, okay. Another new one there. Sentai next one. Hi from Canada. Enjoy your streams and videos. Keep it up. Yeah, hi. Thanks. I haven't recognized you in the stream before, so that's another thing I'm going to look into when I'm in. Because now because I got to take care of my house. I've got a job. I've got my dog that I walk out twice a day. I've got things to squeeze in, and YouTube takes up a lot of time. And as I'm always telling Bob, who I hope is out there, Bob, I hope the cars are. I hope you've washed your car. You're going to wash your car tonight. I hope that's all gleaming. And the whiskey bottles, are you looking to buy them? Anyway, shout out for you. And a shout out for Noel in Birmingham if he's listening. He might get this on the rerun. You know who Noel is. He's a blind man. He can't watch this, but he likes listening to it. So something else I'm thinking about doing when I go to Thailand, I won't have anything to do apart from YouTube. Okay, so a lot of things take up my time here. And I'm looking to do maybe 2 or 3 streams a week, but what I'd like to do is one that fits into a UK audience, 9 p.m. on Friday. So if I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll do it. I want to do another one that targets maybe East Coast, West Coast in America. Not sure which side yet, so that I can do when it's 9 o'clock when I do it, and then again for the Australians, because when I do this stream on a Friday, it's like morning time in Australia. I'd like to be able to do it at 9 o'clock and share a triple X with those guys over there. I don't know. YouTube will be the be all and end all for me. So I've got to wait till I get there. And then, obviously I've got to find an apartment. I've got to set myself up. I've got to buy furniture, kettles, and, it will take time, but I'm looking forward to it. Somebody wrote me a text in the week, because you know my background, what's happening with me and my wife. We're partners, friends. And somebody sent me a text message and said, "Oh, you know, you're abandoning your family, and this isn't right that you're going over to Thailand and leaving." It's not like that, you know. It's crazy, right? Reggie Vibe says, "I enjoy the stories when I'm trucking." Okay. So, and again, another message I got today. Somebody said, "Can you make the story shorter?" And I wrote and I said, "Well, not really, because they're not my stories. I'm not the author. I don't make them up. Yeah, I've got a book, but they're not my stories. People who send me stories, I just read them out. You know, I might edit them a bit, but you know, no." Guns and Pleb. Hello, Peter. Surprise stream today. Well, you surprised me because you're quite a young guy, aren't you? Remind me, put a comment in how young you are, because I remember last Friday, unless you were like joking around with me, because when you told me your age, I was quite shocked, because you know how old I am. And I think a lot of the guys on here, I'm guessing now, are kind of between, well, I'm not guessing because I've got stats, and my biggest audience is between kind of 50 and 65. You know, I don't get a lot of 18 to 20-year-olds in here, you know, but you kind of shocked me the other day. Right. Bruce Forsyth, Johnny Red, nice to see you. Yeah, it was Bruce. I thought it was Max Bygrave. All right, thanks for that. Okay, so there you go. That's a good comment. Right, I'm not going to elaborate on that, but if you were watching the chat earlier. All right, Eugene Vincent, I'm thinking about having some slacks and shirts made to right, I can tell you're not from the UK because we don't call them slacks, we call them trousers here, but let's get on with your question. Right, I'm thinking about having some slacks and shirts made to measure when I'm in Bangkok. Any experience, advice, cheers? Yeah, well, in the video today, that was one of the points I mentioned, is try not to go into the tailors on, you know, in Sukhumvit, the ones that are really near Soi 4 and they've got guys standing outside, suit sir. Try not to go for those ones, because I went into one of those years ago and I asked the price of a couple of tailored shirts and he quoted me in US dollars. And I'm like, I'm not in America. You know, this is Thailand. And I had an argument with them and left. Not an argument, but a few words. But the advice I'd give you is try, when you're there, just talk to people, you know, maybe hotel staff, some other expats. And there's a big expat community all over Thailand. Try and find out where they go, because, you know, the problem in Thailand, I'm quite a big guy. I'm about 6'1", 6'1". I don't know what that is in meters, or I'm still working with old money. I'm quite tall. I'm quite big, fat. But, you know, the thing is, the problem when you live in Thailand, when you're a big guy, it's really, really difficult to find clothes that fit you, because Thais generally are a smaller build than us. There are some big Thais, you know, you only got to look on the doors in Walking Street in Pattaya, but generally they're a smaller frame than us. And sometimes it can be a real challenge to find nice trousers, shirts that fit you. The popular saying over there is one size fits all, and that it doesn't. How can one size fit all? Or the other one, they say, you go to MBK Center, you say, what have you got my size? They say, oh yeah, free size fits anyone. Well, how can it fit anyone? It doesn't fit anyone. So yeah, on that question there, try to find out whether there's a tailor who deals with the expat community, where people who work in Bangkok, they go there, and you can get some real nice gear made up, shirts, short sleeve shirts, some nice suits, and that's what I'm planning to do actually. When I'm planning to have some, you know, some nice loose, thin trousers, because I don't like wearing jeans in Thailand. I find it very uncomfortable because they're hot. I like to actually, and I don't like walking around Bangkok in shorts too much. I don't mind Pattaya, but I like to wear trousers and, you know, a nice thin summer material. I'll get some made when I get there as well. Okay, Jimmy again. No, screw that troll. It's just another tips video. It's your version, and we really respect your opinions, to keep the tip. Well, there won't be any more, Jimmy. Thanks for that. There was 30 and 30. But like I said on Friday, if you weren't in here, the biggest tip I forgot was, you know, if you want to charge your phone, your laptop, you leave the room. I know some people put a card in the, you know, the card reader. You know, you get your card to go in the front door, then you put it in to get the electrics on. Some people carry a spare card. Sometimes they don't work. I don't know if they got chips in them. I've tried that and they didn't work. But top tip is, when you want to plug something in, put an adapter on where the fridge plugs in, because when the electrics goes off, the fridge doesn't. That stays on, and that's what I do. Okay, Mike. Sod the haters, Peter. Your videos are brilliant, and you try and cater for everyone. Even if you did make the stories up, don't make the stories up. Even if you did make the stories up, you don't. At least they're entertaining. No, I mean, look. Somebody said to me, I've got plenty of stories now, but I always want more sent in because I get through 3 or 4. I've got 4 next Saturday. But they seem to keep coming in. I'm really pleased about that. There was about a month ago, I was down to one story, and I really thought, right, well, that's it now. I mean, there can't be, you know, an unlimited amount of stories. It's come to the bottom. What am I going to do after this? And I put a shout out, and a load of stories come in, so I'm back to a nice, healthy level again. But somebody actually said to me, they said, look, if you want to have stories, just make them up. Nobody will know. And I said to the guy, I said, oh no, you know, I don't want to make them up, because the thing is, they won't come out as sincere, will they? Because when I tell the stories, they're all different from different people. And what about that one, the last one today? The guy today, his girlfriend, she was HIV. Christ almighty. But yeah, I wouldn't make them up. I'll tell you what makes me really happy now. I have actually got quite a few women who watch this. They come in. Some on Friday we had some women come in, and I know there's guys out there who actually they literally hate Western women. You know, I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but it's not for me to. I don't hate Western women, but some guys really do, because maybe they've had problems with marriages and things like that. But it's always good to have a good mixed audience when you're doing this sort of thing. Cam the cook. Thanks for your content, Peter. Very much appreciated. I'll be there after Christmas for 3 months. We'll visit Philippines as well. Yeah, Cam, you'll have a good time. Look, you know, guys, if you're in Thailand or Bangkok, Pattaya, whatever, same time as me, and you're on your own out one night, and you see me having a drink, or I'm walking down the street, grab me. You know, I'll have a drink with you. I had a drink with quite a few people when I was there. When I was there in December, I had you know, I met all nice guys. Most of them were quite nice. Except the guy threw the 100 baht across. You know, he said he'd buy me dinner, and then he said, here's 100 baht towards your dinner. I'm not going to tell that story again. Right, 20 Rothmans. Perfect diversion while I'm cooking my dinner. Have to make the most of it while you're in our time zone. Yeah, okay. Where are you, 20 Rothmans? Somebody wrote to me and asked me to tell. I've told you. It's a really quick story, right? But somebody asked me to tell this again. It's really quick. If you've heard it before, apologies, but it's the story about the German guy who met a girl in Pattaya, and he took her on as a girlfriend. And this story shows how cunning, how clever they can be. Now, if you've heard this story, like I say, go make a cup of tea or something. I only take a minute to tell it. But what it was, there was a German guy. He met this girl in Pattaya, and he went over the 3 days. He started to fall for her, and he was on holiday for about 3 weeks, and he actually fell in love with her. And he sort of said, I wasn't sitting at the table, I don't know exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, look, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, I'll send you money from Germany, but I need to know you're not working in the bars anymore. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And what she did, he went back, and she told him that she had a job in 7-Eleven, right? And to convince him, what she'd do, she'd be working in her bar, and she'd know in Germany, okay, that time in Germany where if she was honest, she would be sitting in her village getting ready for bed, or she'd be working in 7-Eleven, whatever. And what she did, this guy, she timed it just right for this guy in Germany. I will come to you, Mohammed. Thank you for that. She timed it. And what she'd do, she used to go to the 7-Eleven. She used to there was a time when the manager was on a break. I don't know all the details, but basically what she does, she went to her local, she was working in a beer bar. She'd get the right time. She'd skip out the beer bar for 10 minutes. She'd go into her local 7-Eleven. She'd meet a friend who really worked in the 7-Eleven. They went into the back room. The girl would take off her shirt. She'd put the 7-Eleven shirt on, 7-Eleven cap. She'd call her boyfriend in Germany, FaceTime, and she'd be like, oh, I'm on a break. I'm in the storeroom. I can't be too long, sweetheart. And he was like, oh, yeah, God, she's got a job in 7-Eleven. She's really honest. Yeah, love you. Bye. Bang. Phone call. Thank you. 100 baht. Away she went. And this girl was like a train, you know, in the beer bars. And this poor guy, he's saying, you know, he's like, well, I've just seen her. She's working hard in 7-Eleven. Terrible. Right. Okay. Right, Mohammed, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hello, Peter and everyone. Have a good live stream. Looking forward to my trip end of July. It will still be hot when you get out there, Mohammed. July, August, September, very hot, but not to worry. And thanks for the super chat. Okay. I know I'm way behind here, but I'm not going to rush these super chats. I'll tell you why, because I haven't got anything to share with you tonight. No funny videos, anything like that. I'm only working off the chats. And if I get to the end and I'm not, you know, I run out of these, and I'll be in the crapper, as it were. Scott, how you doing? Hi, Peter and others. First time I've been able to catch your live stream for weeks. I don't normally do it on a Sunday. It was the last Sunday of the month is supposed to be Ed Sweeney and me, and I contacted Ed. I've got his contact. and he said he'd rather not do it today because he's in there. Is it Bucharest? And he's he's just busy. Right, MechTech health insurance is the gym. All right. Okay, Dutch Farang fully in the discussion. Hi, Ryan Sager, is it? Just say hello to you. David Salisbury, hi to you. Mike Calso, hi, how are you doing? Eugene Vincent, how are you? I did say hi to you, Boohoo. David Barnett, I would never travel without insurance. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I never had insurance. I was very cavalier about it. I've always been fairly healthy, but that's no guarantee. I could have fallen off a motorbike. So touch wood, nothing happened. I've put on my sensible hat now, and when I go out there, I will definitely have insurance. There's two ways you can do it. Depending on your financial situation. Now, if you're going to go out and get yourself insured, if you're going to retire in Thailand, what I would definitely say is do a lot of research, a lot. I looked at lots of different insurance companies, and some of them will be good for something, but they'll be bad for others. And then you go to another insurance company. The reason I'm going with Pacific Cross because they've got an office in Bangkok. I've had I've had phone calls. They call me on WhatsApp from Bangkok to here in England, and I've had the guy on the phone for up to an hour, and I've prepared all the questions, because everything, I said, look, I don't smoke, but I was a heavy smoker for 30 years. I haven't had a cigarette for 10 years. If I got a lung infection, would you treat me, or would that be classed as in your small print? No, because I used to be a smoker, because they'd be able to trace that, right? And I asked them questions like that, and they were the only company who answered every single question. And a couple of my questions, he didn't know the answer. And he actually said to me, he said, you know what? He said, when people ask questions, we get the same questions. We know what to say. He says, but you're asking questions I've never been asked before. And I said, well, what's the answer? And he said, well, I'm going to have to go to the underwriters. He said, because I really don't know. And fair play to the guy. He went to the underwriter. I can't remember the questions, but he went to the underwriters, asked these questions, come back at me. And it was something about pancreas, what do they call it? Cancer of the pancreas. Is it pancreas? And I was asking a lot of questions, and I did this with several insurance companies, but Pacific Cross? They were the only ones who really came back to me. They've got lots of different packages, and I went through everything, and the daily rates for the hotels, because you can get 5,000 baht allowance a day, but I can tell you now, 5,000 baht a day in a hospital isn't going to cover you. The only thing I did on my insurance, which really reduced the price, because I've got a top package, which should have been 80,000 baht a month, right? Now, obviously, I don't, or is it a year? It can't be 80,000 baht a month, is it? No, sorry, 80,000 baht a year, right? That's 80,000 baht, about 2,000 pounds, right? So that's the package I've gone for, but I won't pay that, and I'll tell you why. Now you can reduce that. So I wanted a really good package. The package that I wanted would cost 2,000 baht, 80,000 baht. But how you can reduce that is if you pay the first. I know it sounds a lot. Bear with me. If you don't have, if you pay the first 100,000, which is £2,500, which is a lot of money, I know, right? But if you pay that the first £2,500, that reduces that insurance premium by about 33%. Okay, that's a lot. Yeah. So the thing is, you're probably not going to get sick, but if you are, and it's something serious that's going to cost 3, 4, 5, 500,000 baht, then 100,000 is doable, isn't it? If you're not insured and you get a 500,000 baht bill, then of course that's a lot of money. You're talking about 12,500 pounds, 14,000 US dollars, 15,000 euros. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's a lot of money for anybody to. I don't care who you are. Now, for me. 100,000 baht, 2,500 pounds. If the worst came to the worst, I could find it. It wouldn't kill me, right? It's a lot of money, but it wouldn't, it wouldn't affect my lifestyle. So to do that, I've already reduced the policy by 33%, right? Brilliant. Right. The next thing I did was I've got no outpatients. So worst case scenario, I have a motorcycle accident. I'll talk about the motorcycles as well. Have a motorcycle accident. And I have to go in every week or every 2 weeks to change a plaster. How much is it going to cost? Again, you're not talking 500,000 baht, are you? Hua Hin, I had a little bit of a stomach upset. I went to see a doctor. He gave me antibiotics, cleared up. It was 1,800 baht. So if I went to the hospital, that's classed as outpatients. So I don't have any outpatients. So basically, I'm taking a long time to tell you, by not having outpatients, paying the first 100,000 baht, I've reduced it from 80,000 baht a year to 40,000 baht a year, and I've got the top coverage. So that's what I've done. Right. Okay. Where are we? I don't want to talk about the insurance all night because you'll get bored with it. But one other thing I'll say, you can self-insure if you're in a financial position to do that. If you don't want to pay out money to insurance companies and you're worried that they won't pay out, which most they do. But what I mean by self-insure is you can say, right, okay, you're retiring, right? I don't know your financial background, how wealthy you are, how poor you are. You might be doing it on a minimum. You might have sold a house and have a couple of £100,000 sitting there. But what I mean by self-insured, let's just say worst case scenario, a hospital bill of £500,000 baht. Okay, that's kind of like £12,500. Well, £12,500 is a hell of a lot of money. But if you've got £200,000 sitting in an account, it's not a huge amount to take out your chunk, as it were, your cheddar, as they say, right? So self-insurance basically means you take a sum of maybe £12,000, you put that somewhere separate, you've got a card to access it. If the worst comes to the worst, you go into hospital, they either want to see your insurance card or they want to know that you can pay for it. You've got a card, you can pay for it, and that's self-insurance. It just means you've got the money sitting there in case something happens, but you're not paying premiums, all right? Okay. Okay, right. Where are we? Yeah, thank you. Go hopping. Hi, background looks good. I don't know where that is. Let's look. Little competition. Does anybody know where that is? It looks to me like Peshbury Road, not New Peshbury Road. That New Peshbury Road is the other end of Soi 3. Come out of 4, go down Soi 3 to the other end. That's New Peshbury Road. It looks like Peshbury Road that Pantit Plaza's on. That's what it looks like to me. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Okay. And I'm way behind here on the comments now. Let me skip forward a bit. Did I read that one out? Yeah, I did. I read that out. Let's try and find somebody I haven't said hello to. Mike Kershaw, did I read? Yeah, I read yours out, didn't I? Right, okay, I know where I am now because I've just seen 20 Rothman's comment. Yeah, all right, Paul. I'll leave that one for you, okay? Right. Ian Butcher, I tried to change sterling up at Money Exchange, Patia, once. They rejected them because note had writing on the note. I've mentioned it many times, haven't I? You know, when you take notes to exchange in Thailand, you've got to make sure they're literally perfect. No writing on them, no little tears in them, anything like that. I often bring money back because they won't accept it, even though I try my best to, you know, not to do that, not to take duff notes, as it were. Okay, yeah, Gary Hughes, agree with that. Right, Kevin Sunderland. Kevin here from Australia, ready to go to work. Being very busy at work, keep rock plastering. That's okay. Give me more money to go to Thailand. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely. That's what happened to me. A lot of guys do that. Younger guys in the UK now. They used to go out on a Friday, Saturday night to their local pub, which, you know, is about as exciting as watching, you know, paint dry, as they say. And what these younger guys do now, they join a gym. They go to the gym every day, pump weights, and they save their money, and they all go out to Thailand and have a blast for a month. You know, who can blame them? Hi, Ivan. How you doing? Craig M. Thanks for your great work and advice. Full insurance should be no more than £100. If you shop around, prices are much cheaper. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I shopped around. If you're going to be a skinflint and get it dirt cheap, then there's no point in even getting it. I'd say about £100 a month, you can get some good coverage. But bear in mind what I told you just now about the outpatients and maybe paying a little bit more, because the option I had was to just pay maybe 25,000 baht. But when I, you know, scrutinized it, I thought, well, you know, it's a better deal if I do it this way. I'll try not to talk about the insurance all night. Danish bacon, get well soon, Franco. Yeah. We didn't have our pizza today. Normally, Franco and I meet in a kebab shop that you can sit down in, you know, real high class dudes we are. And I buy Franco pizza for doing the moderator. That's his wages. He gets a pizza, but he hasn't been paid for about 3 weeks because he's been out the country. I'll have to take around a box of pizzas for him. He'll probably throw them at me. Right. Okay. Right. Asef says, hi, handsome Peter. How are you, my mate? You got that right. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. What does monga mean? Okay. Are you joking? You just want to wind me up or you really want to tell? I'll have a go at trying to tell you. Mike Kenzel, what is a monga? So the interpretation, am I saying that right? Interpretation. No, I haven't said that right, have I? Never mind. You know what I mean. So basically the word monga, not the official Oxford dictionary meaning, because people will come back and say it doesn't mean that. It's basically guys who go out to Thailand, they'll go straight to Pattaya, and they're not going there for sunshine, mountain climbing, and temples. Do you know what I mean? And they're not looking for one girlfriend, right? They're there for a couple of weeks. They're mongers. They go out there to mongo. Okay, let's leave it at that. I might be one at 62. I haven't been single before. I will be now. Right, Sean, I came across that channel as well, Peter. He's walking around talking to people, but know the accent. Yeah, I didn't think his videos, I'm not going to mention who he is. I'm not going to mention who the channel is. I was really surprised. I found them videos, they weren't too, well, when I first seen them, I thought, oh, these are quite good, you know, good looking girls and stuff. But when you've watched them for a while, it's the same thing, isn't it? But yeah, I was surprised, actually. I wouldn't be brave enough to come back. Right, you're all wondering who we're talking about now, but I can't tell you. You've said that so many times, MetTech. I'll put it up. Look, a monger is a seller or trader, such as a fishmonger or an ironmonger. Yeah, we know, but you know what it means on this channel or Ed Sweeney's channel or people in Thailand, okay? It's an unofficial term, and you say this every week. I'll just put it up for you there. Right, what's the exchange rate? Well, I haven't done them, but I can tell you what it was on Friday. Because this Sunday stream is a very casual stream, so it was 43.52 to the pound, but that might have changed since Friday. Not a lot, I shouldn't think. Right, Kevin Sunderland, enjoy your show. Been very busy working. Chip. Oh, I've done that one already. Let's move right down then. Right. Martin Rose says, Eddie fell out of the cab last stream after a skinful. Yeah, somebody else said that. Somebody else said Ed Sweeney was a bit, he'd had a few last night. I don't know if he's made a, what do you call it, a video. I'm just reading something out here. Right. Okay. I'm not going to read that out because I think Franco's hidden that one, but right. Okay. Hi, Randy. How you doing? I hope you don't mind. I mentioned your real name there. Hello, Peter. How are you, my friend? I'm good, Randy. I'm good. Looking forward to getting back to Thailand. Just thought I'd do a little stream this Sunday. Not much going on. The title is Unplanned, Unscheduled. Let's see who's around. And I'm pleasantly surprised. There's 368 in at the moment. And that's not bad, is it, for an unplanned stream? Right. Okay. Dutch Frank, Gemini. Okay, you're talking to someone else. Right, Asef, how did your viewing go on Saturday? Yeah, I have already talked about that, Asef, but really briefly, it went really well. I think the guy's going to make me an offer. The estate agent called me back and said he was quite impressed with the property. Right, Passimo, I had to laugh. Anybody was in here Friday, there was a guy, I don't think he meant anything bad by it, but he's got this perception that I'm middle class and I've got like hundreds of thousands of pounds in the bank, and I've had a silver spoon up my ass most of my life, and he couldn't be further from the truth. I did explain that on Friday in full, my background, but he did put a smile on my face. Right, Passimil, here for making your own videos and content. You're the only Thailand-focused YouTube channel I watch, so I wouldn't see it elsewhere normally. See, that's really strange, isn't it? Because I'm not even in Thailand. But what sort of gets me a little bit, thanks for the compliment, but, you know, I get guys who, they live in Pattaya. They actually live there, you know, and they'll come on here and leave comments and stuff. And I find out they're in Pattaya, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm in Northamptonshire, you're in Pattaya, and you're watching this. I should be watching you. Right. Right, Wan Shai. Do you like Koh Samui? I wouldn't say I don't like it. It's the sort of place that if I met a girl and she became my girlfriend and I wanted to spend some quality time with her and be with her and eat with her every day and stuff, I'd probably go there for a couple of days. Would I go there on my own? No, definitely not, because I'd get bored very, very quickly. Richard, interview some bar girls. Be good to hear some bar girls' story. Yeah, I know a few bar girls as friends. Right, Scott G, what are you saying? Right, hey Peter, if you were to have a night off the alcohol in Thailand but wanted to go to bars, what would you drink? Okay, I can kind of see where you're going with that. Whatever you want. Look, there's this kind of people who I don't know if have you been to Thailand before? People have got this perception that if you go into the bars and you don't drink alcohol, people will look at you funny or the staff won't like it or something like that. Absolutely not. The thing is, they're businesses, okay? All they want to know is that you're spending money. Now, if you go into a go-go bar and you order a soda water, they'll serve it. You pay for it. They're quite happy for you to sit and drink a soda water. The girls won't say anything. Nobody will look down their nose at you. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of not drinking alcohol. In fact, you should be proud of yourself, actually, if you can go and have a good time without alcohol. Me, I need to get leathered when I'm out in the go-go bars. But one thing I will warn you about, if you go into, say, a 7-Eleven and you buy a bottle of Singer soda water, it will cost you probably, I can't remember what they are now, maybe 15 baht, 20 baht, something like that. Now, if you go into a go-go bar and a beer is 140 baht, you'll probably pay 120 baht for your soda. Now, I've had people complain, not complain to me, but they said, oh, I can buy this in 7-Eleven for 15, 20 baht, and they're rip-offs. They're charging me 140 baht, but they're not ripping you off, because think about it, right? You go into 7-Eleven, you grab a bottle out the back of the fridge, you go out, you can sit on 7-Eleven's step and drink it if you want, okay? That is it. Now, in a go-go bar, you could have 50 pretty ladies on stage that you're looking at, right? You've got comfortable seating. You've got aircon going on. You've got toilets to go to. Somebody will bring that soda to your table with a glass, and they'll even pour it for you, right? And when you're nearly finished, they'll come back and say, would you like another one? So that's what you're paying for. It's a package. It's a service. You're not paying for a bottle of soda water. I can go into 7-Eleven. I can buy a can of 500 ml can of Leo for 50 baht. Sometimes it's 51 baht, depending on where you are, right? 51 baht, 52 baht. I can buy a 500 ml of Leo, 50 baht. If I go into one of the top go-go bars in Nana Plaza, I'm not going to pay less than 180 baht. So I could say I'm getting ripped off 3.5 times the price, but I'm not, because what am I getting for my price, right? So in answer to your question, Scott, drink them soft drinks away, mate, no problem. But try and stay off the sugar. We don't want to get you diabetic like me. Right, Mazza Peter, are you having a drop of whiskey tonight? I've got a 70 cl bottle of Jameson's. I'm going to open a bit later. I don't know. I've got everything here, and it's really hard, because what happens is I've got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I've got to. And I had dinner at 4 o'clock today because I didn't want to come on here and be sort of, you know, lethargic. I've got beers. I might have one of them in a minute, actually. I'll leave it till 8 o'clock. But I have got this, right? And it's unopened. It's a brand new one. See? And I have got this. But I don't really want to get into it, because you know what happens when I drink whiskey, don't you? 4-hour streams and all that. We'll see. Right, Peter, can we have Nat join one of your lives, please? She's the best. She's actually been, when I used to do the lunchtime stream with Simon, the lady who plays Nat, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we've had her on the live streams just out of camera, and guys were asking her questions. You know, it was really fun, actually. Okay, so still talking about YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium is great, but UK is 13 quid a month. Get it over on in Thailand instead. I thought it was. I thought I was paying £11.99. I've only just been charged one, because you get it free for the first month. But that's a good point. Maybe I'll cancel it here, and then I'll get it, because I know it's cheaper in Thailand, isn't it? I don't know how much it is. I don't know, a few hundred baht, isn't it? Wan Chai, do you rate? Oh, I've read that already. Paul Hoskins, my Thai girlfriend had a toothache. She refused to go to the dentist and got her dad to take it out instead. Really? Okay. Yeah, Martin, you're getting your wires crossed. You're getting your wires crossed here. I am going to rent. So what's happening is I'm selling my house here in the UK, because I'm splitting up with my wife. The lion's share of what I haven't got much of a mortgage. The lion's share of what I get for this house, I'm going to buy another house for my wife and my daughter, so they're left comfortable. And then I'm moving to Thailand. I'm going to rent an apartment. Okay. Cool. So it's still quite warm today out there. I need a new chair. The back's going on this one. Right. Right. Yeah, that's a serious question, though. What's your new? Is it one foul Kez Paul? Is there any way of politely asking to make sure all women are not ladyboy without offending? Yeah, I mean, you know, look, even if you haven't been there before, most of the girls you can see, you know, it's not like when you look at the pictures of competition, they're quite easy to spot. You know, the lady boys, most of them are tall, they exaggerate everything, they're very loud, they've got long fingers, bigger hands, normally bigger feet. But if you're unsure, you know, you can offend people, but you can ask as well. If you're with a girl, you know, and you think, I'm not 100% sure, you can say, look, you can say to her, are you a lady boy or a girl? And she'll tell you. She'll say, I'm a lady boy, or she'll tell you a girl. But I don't think you'll get to that stage. You know. Okay. Terry says, trying to find a pet-friendly condo in Pattaya. That's something I hadn't thought about, a pet-friendly. Of course, they've changed the law in the UK now, haven't they? You can't, you know, if you own a property, you can't say no pets. You've got to allow them in. Yeah. Does anybody know? Can let Terry know where there's a trying to find a pet-friendly condo. I'll tell you the person to ask that one, Terry. Trevor from Buzz in Pattaya. You could go on his channel. I'm sure he's got an email address somewhere. Ask him. He's all things Pattaya, isn't he? Or everything Pattaya. Any of these guys in Pattaya who are based there, I'm sure somebody will know. You just got to ask around. World Traveller Forever. The old photos of Pattaya were a great bonus to the stories. Yeah, I like them. And I try to do them proud by putting them into a nice montage and putting a bit of a nice background music on there. The thing is, when you find old photographs of Thailand, they're just they're rehashed over and over and over again. They're everywhere. They're on hundreds of sites because old photographs are hard to come by. And these photographs from today's story, they were actually sent to me. The guy who sent them photographs, he actually took them photographs and he's got them in an album. He's an old guy in America now. And he sent me photographs before. There was another montage I did about 3-4 months ago. And I said to him, they were great. If you've got any more. And he actually took them with an Instamatic camera when he was in Pattaya. And they're in his collection. He scanned them and sent them to me. And that's how I was able to come up with these unique photos. And the reason you might notice I put a Thailand bound logo right in the middle of the picture, because otherwise people will just go in, download that video, and they'll use them themselves. And they're his photographs. You know, he's quite kindly let me use them, but they don't belong to me. And I don't really want other people stealing them. But, you know, yeah, I mean, nowadays everybody's got a camera. Click, click, click. You can take as many pictures as you want. But them old photographs. Did you notice something about the girls in Pattaya when you looked at them photographs? Because there were quite a few. There was one right at the beginning of a bar girl dancing, but you did see girls in Walker Street and around like that. Did you notice the majority were flat-chested and very dark skin, not like today? I did. Right, Shane, how are you doing? I keep saying this, and I mean it, Shane. We're going to have to get you back on the stream, and a Sunday stream would be good. I'll tell you who else I was going to get on a Sunday stream, but I haven't seen him in tonight. What's his name? Yours Travel, is it? Ben, how are you doing? When are you going back to Thailand? End of the year, probably. For a holiday, for a vacation, probably in about a month's time. For good, hopefully by the end of the year. All right. Sam Taylor. Nice to see you. To see you, nice, Bruce Forsyth. Exactly. Somebody sent me a message today and said, "Oh, there's some old videos of Pattaya from the 80s and 90s on YouTube. Why don't you show them?" But you can't simply go onto you. People do it, but you're not supposed to. You can't simply go onto YouTube, download somebody's videos, and put them up on your channel. You know, you might get away with it. I don't do it because the video might be there for 3 months, then YouTube give me a strike. Copyright strike. It's not. I've worked hard to build this channel now. It's not the biggest channel on YouTube, but it's doing okay, and I don't want to jeopardize it. You know how, I don't know if you know how YouTube works, but it's 3 strikes and you're out. If you get, you know, though, if you pinch a bit of music or a photograph, you'll get a strike. You do that 3 times, your channel's dust. It's gone. I'm really, really careful. Jeff Hamilton says Western women hate me. Why, Jeff? Right. I think it's time for a beer. I'll leave it 2 more minutes. Okay. Right, Terry. I got one for you. Spotted a Thai lady I was chatting with for months on another YouTube channel working on 6. I got one for you. I spotted a Thai lady I was chatting with for 1 month on another YouTube channel working on Soy 6. Yeah, I mean, they get around, Terry. I was talking to a guy a while ago. He's an IT, he works from home in Australia, and he'd never been to Thailand, and he does, if you've got a problem with your laptop screen or something like that, you write to support, and he's a guy on the other end. Oh, try pulling out this wire, try and doing that. And he met a girl in Soy 6, and he was convinced she was a good girl, and the only reason she was there was because she didn't have any other options. He was sending her money, and he said to me, "What do you think?" She works in not a go-go bar. He sent me a picture of her in a bikini on Soy 6 in Pattaya, and he'd been sending her money and give me background. He said, "What do you think?" And I said, just don't get involved. Basically, he wouldn't listen to me. They never do. They ask you, you give them the answer, and then they do what they want to do anyway. Some guy, it's been a week for funny comments for me this week. I've had some really strange comments. One guy wrote to me, that 30 tips. Well, it's 60 tips now. One guy wrote to me and he said, "You know nothing about Thailand. You put out these videos, but all you know about is sex tourism. I think he called me a pedo or something like that." And I just say my usual standard reply: "Would you like a refund?" Right, D-Rock 7977 Star. Yes, I missed a lot of streams, both Peter and buzzing these days. I work a lot, and then I play poker when I can for extra income. Only 5 days. Do you make money from poker? Do you, D-Rock? Well done. Right. Liam says, "I saw you in Tree Town in Danny's bar last December, but I didn't want to invade your privacy." Did you, Liam? You should have. Yeah, privacy. What privacy? I was out on the piss. I was with Trevor. He got worse than me. No, you should have done, because he dragged me out. Trevor dragged me out, kicking and screaming with a gun against my head. He pulled me out on one. He's got this Discord group, and they go around to bars, and he'll message everyone, and he'll say, "Right, we're at the popular one when I was there. We were going to. It was quite close to his buzzing bar that wasn't open. It's a sports, what was it called? Something sports bar. But we all met up there, got a shot, and but I met a lot of guys who were out with Trevor. They met me through Trevor, and guys came up to him. We sat and we had a drink. And if you were there, I know it's hindsight now, but there's no way I'll invade my privacy. You never would. You should have come up and shook my hand, and we could have had a beer. And next time, maybe. Yeah, next time. Okay. Carlito, on the 30 tips, this is about the motorcycle rentals. What is the insurance cost for it? Not sure you mentioned it. Good job on both tips. So with the motorcycle insurance, when you rent, you don't have to get the motorcycle insurance unless you own a motorcycle in Thailand, and it's really cheap as well. That you might see on all the motorbikes, the scooters, the Honda Vibes and stuff. You'll see a sticker on the, when you're sitting on it down there's a sticker. They actually buy it from 7-Eleven, believe it or not. But when you rent a motorcycle, the people who rent you the motorcycle, they have to insure it for anybody to ride that motorcycle. I mean, you can ask to see their insurance certificate if you want, but I wouldn't wish you luck with that one. But you're never ever going to get pulled on a motorcycle and asked for insurance. They'll ask you why you're not wearing a crash helmet. They'll breathalyze you. They might try and extract money from you for going right instead of left, whatever it is like that. But I've never heard of a foreigner being asked for an insurance certificate. But one thing I will say, if you don't have a motorcycle license in your own country, don't rent a motorcycle in Thailand, because what will happen if you have an accident and you've got insurance, they will look into it. And if you haven't got a license in your own country, they won't pay up. And that is in the fine print. So be warned. Right. Shane Old Traveler again. Drocker have the same problem. All right. Ivan. Now I'm worried I'm going to melt once I get there. Now you'll be all right. Yeah, Jeffrey says we will keep you busy with the comments. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's nearly 400 in now. When I do these Sunday streams, they're not very often. I don't want to sort of overcook it. The Friday streams are great. A lot of fun. I put a lot of preparation into them, and I'll be doing that this week for next Friday stream. But these Sunday streams are once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks. It should be with Ed. He's not here. Hopefully he'll be back with me next at the end of July. We'll do one together. But these, we're just chatting whatever you want to chat about. They're very, very easy going. And the way I look at it when I start the stream, if there's not too many people in, and it's I just hit 400 there. There was about 12 short, just hit 400. Now that is very good for a Sunday. If you just joined us, welcome. So yeah, we're just unplanned, and we'll see how it goes. Right. I'm not going to read that one out. Paula, read most of yours out, but I'm not reading that one. Right. Terry, if you've done your research, the biggest shock for is the heat getting off the plane. Yeah, but you do acclimatize, Terry. And you know this, because what happens is if you're there in October, November, when it's 28 degrees, 27 degrees. You'll see, you go around the beer bars, you know, you always get a cashier, don't you? You'll see the cashier, she's got a jacket wrapped around her, 28 degrees. And you go up to her and say, what's wrong? Are you sick? She'll say, no, it's very cold, winter now, you know. So their body is used to hot weather. So when it gets to 28 degrees, which for us is tropical, you know, lovely sunshine, real hot day, for them, it's cold. So yeah, when you first get out there, them glass doors open, it's like stepping into an oven, isn't it? But of course, if you try to stay if you're only going on vacation, there's no point trying to acclimatize. But if you live there, when I lived there the last time in Bangkok on Soi 24, you always need air conditioning to sleep. But I made a point of in my apartment, which was only on the 4th floor, I'd open all the windows, I'd have a load of fans going, but I wouldn't put aircon on in the daytime. I only wore a pair of shorts, nothing on top, barefoot, just shorts, that's it. And that was for the maid, right? But yeah, you do acclimatize, and you'll find the longer that you're there, the easier it gets, because it is a very hot country. In fact, Bangkok has claim to fame is that it is the hottest country in the world, the hottest city in the world. And the reason Bangkok's classed as the hottest city in the world is because there are other cities around the world that get just as hot. But the difference with Bangkok is it doesn't cool down in the evening. You go to other cities that are baking hot, come 10 o'clock at night, you can sit in an outside bar and you get a nice cool breeze. Well, that doesn't happen in Bangkok. Yes, you don't get the blazing sun, but it's still very, very hot. And if you've been there and experienced it, you know what it's like. You're sitting in outside bars. You know, after a while, what I tend to do, I'll go to 2 or 3 outside bars, and then I'll go into a go-go bar, not because I want to go into a go-go bar, but the air conditioning's fantastic in a go-go bar, and you cool right down. But what happens eventually, you start to feel dirty because you sweat, then you dry, then you sweat again. But it's all part of the Thailand experience. Okay, Swedish, who's that? Swedish Soy Dog. Hi, Peter. Going to Pattaya in August. Yeah, enjoy the heat. It will be a lot of fun. I might see you there, actually. I might try and get out there in August. Right, Carl D. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is good. Went to the Magic of Thailand Festival in Manchester. What a great day. Yeah, that was the Katoi show, wasn't it? The Ladyboys. A few people told me about that. I'm not really into it myself. And if I was, I'd wait till I go to Pattaya, go to Alcazar or something like that. Is that how you pronounce it, Alcazar? Right, yeah. Martin Ryder. Got good travel insurance, mongering in Africa, caught malaria in Ecuador, Guinea, and wanted to admit me to a local hospital. Got on a plane straight to Johannesburg. Yeah, okay, yeah. Check the small print. Right, Franco. Paul Shackleton, got your local post office and get an international paper driving license. Do you know, I did that, Franco. But the thing is, I'm not saying don't do it, but some of the Thais actually told me that the Thai police, they don't care about those international driving licenses. They're not interested in seeing them, because when you go to a post office and get an international driving license, they're only they don't cost much, but they look like something from the 60s or the 50s. It's a piece of cardboard that opens up, and they handwrite it, and then they stamp it with a rubber stamp. And it really is a throwback to how documents used to be in the 50s and 60s. But I took one once. I don't think I'd bother again, because they just want to see your ID, really. I mean, I can ride a motorcycle of any size because I passed the motorcycle test. But I doubt very much that a policeman, if I show him my driving license in Thailand, he's going to look at that and say, oh, this guy's qualified to ride a motorbike. I doubt it. But what I am going to do, because I'm going to live there, I am actually going to get a Thai driving license. You do have to jump through hoops, but I think it's worth it. The other reason it's worth it is because if you're in a situation, somebody's trying to mess you about a Thai, and you pull out a Thai driving license, that's like a big, that's a big sign. Don't mess about with this guy because he's got a Thai license. It means you know what's going on. You're not a tourist, are you? Right, Liam again. You don't need a license to rent a bike, nor do you get insurance. If you damage or someone bump into you, you pay. Yeah, that's not the advice I would give people, Liam, but each to his own. Right, James Casey, Dutch Frank, I know you are a curious man, yeah. David Salisbury. Peter, can you put the details of the insurance company you've been talking about and where they are based? You can Google them. They're called Pacific Cross. They've got an office in Bangkok. I'm not going to start publicizing them because I don't work for them. But obviously, I like helping viewers out if they want to know. Pacific Cross, they've got an office in Bangkok. They're great. You send them your WhatsApp, they'll call you, you can talk to them. I think it was an Australian guy who I dealt with, and they were very, very accommodating. Okay, they answered all my questions, and they were the best ones I dealt with. Okay, what one fold again, Paul? Be good when you retire there. If you do vlog, to say arriving at airport, etc. Great tips of things you do the first couple of days while settling into the Thai. Yeah, well, when I went in December, I did that. I made a travel video. Because I hadn't been for 2 years, so I thought, right, I'll document it all nicely. And I sat in my car with the engine off, with a seatbelt on. I said, right, here I am. I'm going to Thailand. And I did segments. So I did a night in the hotel at Heathrow, filmed it. I did the airport at Heathrow, filmed it. Walking onto the plane, I was sitting in the seat. I filmed the landing in Bangkok, walking through the, the COVID plastic chairs and everything, until I finally ended up in the Holiday Inn under quarantine for 8 hours or whatever it was. Took the mask off, and it was I thought it was quite a good video, actually. I'm going to do that again when I go out there, because I think it's going to be quite an emotional journey, because I've been with my wife for 33 years now. I've raised my daughters. It all sounds fun in games. I'm going out to Thailand to live by myself and perhaps be a monger, I don't know. But it's a big change in my life, and I want to document it for other guys who might be thinking of doing the same thing. I'm not leaving my wife. That's not what's happening. We've come to a mutual agreement that is something we both need in our lives at the moment. So I'm going to actually document that. And the reason to document it, it's not kind of like, here I am on the plane, here I am. I will do, look, I'm looking for an apartment, I found this apartment. Of course I'll do that, because it'll be interesting for some guys. But there will be guys out there who are kind of 50, 60, maybe they're not in the best marriages in the world, and they'll be thinking about it. And it's always nice to see somebody do it before you. I know there's other people who've done it, but I haven't done it. And what I'll do is, I want to tell you the emotional journey. So in other words, how I'm feeling. So she's gone. I'm now in my apartment in Bangkok. Yeah, I can go down and get a soapy, of course. But I haven't got a soulmate partner with me. I'm eating by myself. I'm cooking. I'm doing my laundry. Whatever it is, I know it's not a big deal. But it's going to be. I don't know what the feelings are going to be. Maybe I won't feel anything. Maybe I'll say, this is great. Should have done it 10 years ago. I don't know, because my wife and I are going to remain friends, still have contact. I don't know, but when I do know, I'll document it, and I'll make videos, and I'll let you guys know how it was. Right. Okay, Dutch Frang's interpretation of a monger. A monger is one who enjoys the company of a lady. I'd change that slightly, Dutch Frang, and I'd say a monger is one who enjoys the company of ladies. That's what I would say. Right, Tug Morris, good name. Have my ticket for the 4th of July. Looking for a good condo rental in Pattaya. Any recommendations? Yeah, look, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't go to any of the agents, because they're all overpriced. What I'd do, I've heard you can get a serviced apartment. Not a serviced apartment. If you go to the dark, not the dark side, I'm getting it all wrong now. You can get in Pattaya. Did you say you're going to Pattaya? Have my ticket for 4th of July. Looking for a good condo. Yeah, Pattaya. Yeah, I mean, wait till you get there. Don't go to these agents with all the photographs in the window, because they're expensive, right? Get a motorbike and just ride around. Get the signs, condo to rent, room to rent, and that's how you get a cheap place. Maybe book a hotel for a week, 2 weeks, however long it is. I don't know how long you go in there for. Maybe book a hotel, couple of days, rent a motorbike for a couple of $100 a day, and then go to different areas around Pattaya and just ride slowly, and you'll see condo for rent, room to rent. And even if they don't have a sign, the bigger buildings, this is what I did in Bangkok, and I found some great places. You just go in reception, Google Translate, probably easier in Pattaya, but the security don't generally speak a lot of English. I speak some Thai, but I'm not fluent. So you go on Google Translate and you just put in Google Translate, do you have any apartments to rent? Show it to the security guard. And when I did that in off Sukhumvit, all the little soys, half of them said, like this, and I spoke to an English speaking guy behind the reception desk, and they showed me rooms and condos. So that's how you'll get a cheaper deal. If you go to these agents with the windows covered in photographs with the prices and all that, that's an easier way to do it, but they tend to cost quite a bit more. Right. Right, Mohammed, what are you saying? Yeah, Peter, it's hot in July, but I missed the quote, hello, handsome man, to you. Yeah, well, the fatter your wallet, the more handsome you'll be. All joking aside, I've seen a guy, this is a couple of years ago, well, more than a couple of years ago. I remember seeing an old guy walking down Walking Street in Pattaya, and I'm an old guy now, right, 62, but this guy was, he must have been I mean, he's got to have been 80 or something like that, because he was walking really slowly. He had leather sandals on with brown socks, one of those floppy hats, you know, a t-shirt that was about 3 sizes too small for him. And he's walking down Walking Street real slow, taking it all in. And the girls were shouting out, "Hey, handsome man, sexy man," you know, and if you've seen it, you'd have laughed. Right. Devil's Den. It was Friday night. Eddie got wrecked, fell out of his taxi. Did he make a video on that? Did everybody see the? I showed it a couple of times actually on Friday. Damon, who's a regular on this channel, he did a takeoff. You know when Ed's does his squeaky door bit, and he's like, "So what's on the menu tonight?" And he brings out a pork pie that costs like 3p, and then he's got his can of lager and he's banging the last drop out of it. Well, Damon did a takeoff of that. He made a little video of it. He sent it to me, and I turned it into a little movie with an intro, music in the background. I think most people here have seen it, but if I get enough people here who say they didn't see it and they want to see it again, I've got it here. I've deleted most things from last Friday's stream, but I've still got that. And I don't want to just show it because most people here have probably seen it. But if I get a few people who say I didn't see it and I'd like to see it, it's a really good takeoff. And actually, Ed Sweeney seen it and said he laughed out loud, and he left a comment on the video saying, you know, a really good job, Damon. It made me actually laugh out loud. So let me know, and if enough people want to see it, I'll show it. Right, Mark Kelso, cheers. Right, cheers, Peter the Monger comment wasn't a joke. I've never been to Thailand. No, I didn't say it was. First time I heard it on here, I heard the offensive word "mong" or fishmonger. Yeah, it's basically a. I think we've explained it now, but that's what it means, you know. Randy, thanks for that. So you say even I have to change to find a woman or fond a woman, is it? Thanks for the super chat. You were going to call me, weren't you? You wanted to ask me something. I forgot what it was you were going to ask me. Okay. Right, where are we? Yeah, Scott G says, look forward to seeing your story. Well, I won't. I won't. Yeah, I'm not going to actually tell a Saturday morning story about some guy who was married for 33 years and then at the end of it say, it was me. No, I'm just going to document what goes on. You know, 33 years is a long time. I met my wife in South Korea. You know, I was in the hotel industry. She was working. I worked in 5-star hotels. I worked in a hotel called Paradise Beach, right on the beach in a town called Busan, which is now called Busan. And I worked there, and she actually worked behind the reception. She was 19 was she 19? She was young anyway. And I met her there, and it was a bit of a struggle because her family's typical Asian thing. You know, they didn't want her having a foreign boyfriend, and it's all down to, you know, culture. But it worked out. And yeah, so it's a long time. It's a long time. But I think it's for the best right now. Okay. D-Rock 7977. Danish Bay, too busy. 555. Nice to catch a stream again. Yeah, okay. Ed and I hopefully are on schedule to do the last Sunday of July. Should have been tonight, but Ed's busy, isn't he? The Wu-Tang Life, don't think if you have travel insurance you will get free treatment. You will pay or go to the monkey house after you get out of the hospital. They won't let you go home until you pay. Yeah, but the thing is, what happens is they're not going to do the treatment and then ask you to pay. What they normally do, unless you're unconscious, of course, then they'll probably send you to a government hospital. But what normally happens is when you go into a hospital, they'll ask you, do you have an insurance card? And they know all the cards, and you'll give them your card, and they'll run that through the systems. And the hospital's linked to all the insurance companies so they can check the card. And when they find out, yeah, the guy's insured for, then they'll, carry on. And if not, I've even known them to bring payment machines. You know, like when you swipe your card to pay for your meal, they'll bring it to your bedside. And if you can't pay it, then I would imagine they'd transfer. I'm guessing this now. I would imagine they'd transfer you to a government hospital and they take care of you that way. But this is why with COVID, they're insisting on insurance, because if somebody gets COVID, they have to go into hospital quarantine. It's all out the window now, but I mean, back then. But that's why they said you had to have insurance, because they didn't want that situation to happen where people got sick, they went to hospital and they couldn't pay for it. At least they know if they had insurance, they could pay for it. But that all backfired because a couple of insurance companies went under because they didn't realize how many people would actually catch it. Deke again. Hi, Peter. I've just stopped for my break. I'm listening to you in the background. It makes my journey go quicker. Are you actually driving, Deke? Be interested to know where you are. Whereabouts in the country are you? Because I know you drive a long distance lorry. Boohoo says, is Airbnb an option in Thailand? Good deal. Yeah, you can go Airbnb in Thailand, but I haven't had great reports on Airbnb. The thing is with Airbnb, if you stay in a country where hotels are really expensive, then it's a good option, isn't it? But hotels are so cheap, and I don't want to stay in an apartment where, okay, if I live there, it's something else. But if I go on a vacation, I want the room cleaned. I want room service. I want all those little luxuries that you might not get. But yes, it is an option. You can go onto their website and have a look, but just beware, because a lot of them, that you look at the map and it will say it's right next to the BTS train station, and in reality it's not. It might be 10 minutes away or 15 minutes away or however, but you've still got to jump on the back of a motorbike to get to it. And if you do that every day, twice a day, then it's no longer cheap, is it? Okay, sensible questions only now. Right, Kev, if you marry a Thai woman who is a government employee, you are automatically covered under medical insurance. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Mazza says, Deke the trucker. I'm a trucker as well. Safe driving. Yeah, Paul Shackleton. Peter, I rent out mobility scooters in seaside town in Dorset. Is there a market for that in Pattaya? The biggest problem you'll face with a business like that is it's the Thai mafia, right? If you do a business that they can do, then they'll make it very uncomfortable for you. I'm just trying to think of a business that, for instance, if you're a foreign, you thought, right, I'll buy 20 Honda Clicks, I'll set up, and I'll what are you saying, PA Comanche? I was going to ask you if you have US health insurance and go to hospital, will they accept it? How can they verify? Or should I get Thai insurance? Again, give me a call when you got time and I'll explain it to you. It's really difficult to explain it so specific, that question, but I can help you out with an answer. But give me a call when you got 5 minutes, and I'll explain that, right? So Paul, just on this again, the biggest problem you have in a place like Pattaya. So say for me, for instance, I'm going to retire in Thailand. I'm going to work in Thailand, whatever. Now I'm going to go full time in Thailand. Let me grab a beer while I'm explaining this. A bit early, but hey ho. Right. So the biggest problem you have, just say for instance, let's look at a scenario. Say I thought, right, well, I've got this much money saved up. I can buy, your average. If I bought the bikes on Facebook, I could buy some step through Honda Clicks, Vibes, and stuff like that. I could probably pick them up for 25,000 baht on Facebook, secondhand shops around there. Get some Thais to help me. Get 12 motorbikes, put them on Pattaya seafront, rent them out. Yeah, I could do all that. Anybody could do that. But the problem you're going to face, and I'm getting around to your question, the problem you're going to face is a local Thai mafia, because they're all involved in all them businesses, jet skis, bike rental, all sorts. And as a foreigner, if you've got a successful business renting out bikes, and that's what they do, they're going to make life very, very uncomfortable for you. So in answer to your question, I don't know of a company in Pattaya who rent out mobility scooters. I don't think there is any, but let's just say you got 10 mobility scooters or 15. I don't know how many you need to run a business, and you set up a business. And let's just say you worked hard at making that business successful. And after 6 months, 80% of your scooters went out on hire and you may be making good money. What's going to happen is the Thais are going to do exactly the same as you, but they're going to undercut you because they won't need as much money as you, right? Or they'll get nasty with you. So it probably would work, but it's not, it's not easy, Paul, because of that Thai mafia down there. You've got to be really, really careful. Right. Let me try and answer this quickly now. You're saying, I was going to ask you, if I have USA health insurance and go to hospital, will they accept it? Right. Okay. Look, basically, I know this. It depends which insurance company it is. I know AXA, they're a big company. I know they accept AXA. So I don't know who you're with, but obviously you're not going to come on a YouTube channel and take my word for it, then fly to Thailand. Obviously what you're going to do is you're going to check with your insurance company. I know you're only trying to get a pointer here, but if you contact them, I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. They're not going to outright lie, are they? Right. Only in Thailand. Once they find out that your insurance card is valid, you'll be subject to every, yeah, that's true, non-test possible to man to be prepared for an extended stay. Yeah, they do it. Remember, guys, hospitals are businesses in Thailand. You pay for everything. They're great, second to none. I mean, the Bumrungrad Hospital on Soi 3, they've got a McDonald's in the ground floor. But No, they're good. But they are businesses, and everything's chargeable. So your room is you stay in hospital. You're charged a daily rate in the room. You're charged for X-rays. You're charged for medicine. You're charged for consultations. Even the nurse who comes in and puts a thermometer up your backside, whatever, you'll be charged for that. So because the insurance is paying it, they're going to want to maximize you. You're a product to them, aren't they? Your business. So they're going to try and maximize the income that they can get from your illness. So yeah, I mean, they won't say, would you like this test or would you like that test? They'll do everything they can do, they'll do. So absolutely right. Terry again, Agoda good for cheap hotels. Cheap, I'm sure you meant cheap. Yeah, I did on my 30 tips. I did say Agoda are very good. You'll get good rates on Agoda, better than if you just walk into a hotel. Right, I poured a drink and I had a sip. Guys, cheers. A lot more people than I thought there were going to be. Oh, that's nice. I've got an ulcer on the inside of my tongue. It's really painful. Right, Taxi Talal. Right. I stayed in a great Airbnb in Chiang Rai, new villa with pool, owned by an English lady and her Thai husband, £60. The thing is, in Thailand, you're never going to have any problems with accommodation. It doesn't matter what's going on, how busy it is. There's just so many options, from the Oriental Hotel, which you could class as a 6-star hotel if there's such a thing, Old Colonial Hotel, beautiful gardens, right down to somewhere like Ed Sweeney stayed, the Swan Inn Hotel. You know, I'd be scared to go to sleep in case what's coming out in the night, but Ed knows I'm only joking. But yeah, I mean, I did look at Airbnb, but it was in Thailand. It's not for me. Airbnb, I'll tell you where Airbnb does win in Thailand. Simon, my friend who lives there, sometimes they'll want to go down to, say, Hua Hin for maybe a weekend. Now they've got the extended family. So there's him, his wife. They've got 3 sons. His wife's brother and wife live next door with their kids. And then there's aunties. And there'll be about 20 of them go down. Now what they'll do, they'll rent a big villa with a big full-size swimming pool. So, you know, when 20 people chip in, it's nothing. And they've got this huge villa, barbecue area, huge pool. All the kids play together. Yeah, that's fantastic. But for you as a single guy or a couple of guys, you know, hotels are a good option in Thailand. All right, Chris, you're a glutton for punishment. You're in Friday. You're back tonight. Good to see you. Looking forward to you documenting everything in your move, getting a place, getting your license, etc., and then the day-to-day review of places and experience. Yeah, I'm going to try and make it interesting, Chris, because I know I do occasionally watch other people's YouTubes, not because I want to copy their content, but some of them I watch and I think this is crap. You know, the way you're doing this is crap. Others I watch and I think that was really good. Right, Matthew Alcorn. You're a trucker as well. I'm a trucker to the industry, not good at the moment. Hope a pay rise happens. Matthew, I don't know where you are in the world, but I thought the truckers now I thought they were holding all the cards because there was a lorry driver shortage, wasn't there? Or there still is. Okay. David. Hey, Peter, have you heard Nick from NDTV has sold his Anasenia? How do you say it? Asenia? No, I haven't. I haven't heard that. I'm not really in the loop with the guys in Pattaya. When I look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Pattaya. Okay, I first went to Pattaya in 1992. You know, I've had some great weekends in Pattaya. I lived in the first soy as you come down from the Dolphin roundabout. I had a room there for a long time. And I've grown out of it now, so I'm not really into the Pattaya scene. When I went down there, I met Trevor and I met all the guys, and it was interesting. And I went over to LK Metro and Soy Poto, and which all that wasn't there, years ago. And it was interesting to see, but it doesn't float my boat, as they say. And I don't keep in the loop. And I am friendly with most of those guys, but I don't have a lot going on with them because it's not, I'm not really, when I go to Thailand, I'm going to live in Bangkok, and then when I go out, I've got plans to go out. But not so much. Well, I don't want to tell you because I don't want to give my gameplay away. Right, Mazza, my mate got arrested and thrown into the monkey house for 3 hours for reporting his stolen mobile phone. He went to a normal police station, not a tourist one. Could be useful advice for him. But how does that work? So he's had his mobile phone stolen. He's gone to the police and they locked him up. There's something else going on there, Maz. I'm not saying you're not telling us the truth, but you go into a police station, they don't just lock you up for reporting something stolen, right or wrong? Right. The Wu-Tang Life. Organized crime is involved in everything in Thailand. You will pay them a cut in any business unless it's a corporation. Then the government get involved. Yeah, the thing is, though, you know, no, I'm not going to give an opinion on it. Right, okay, that's the first one. Wayne, please show the Ed Sweeney impersonation. I know I'm a bit behind, so let me see if anybody else has got that. It's really good, actually. He did a good job. Right. For us Americans, the hospital is not much different. Yeah, I when I went to America years ago, I actually got sick. And what happened is I got sick in Thailand. I didn't know I was sick. And it was when that movie Casino came out, Robert De Niro. I was earning good money back then. And I watched that movie and I thought, yeah, that looks interesting. And I arranged with a friend. We had to go through, we couldn't fly direct from Bangkok to, where did we fly? No, we had to go from Bangkok to, we landed in Japan, the Japan airport there. And then we flew from there to California. And then we rented a car and we drove 4 hours through Death Valley to Las Vegas. And but yeah, I got sick and I had to go to a clinic and there was a long wait and I got a $600 bill, which cut into my holiday money. I wasn't very happy about. Yeah, right. Taxi to Laos says, Bumrungrad like a 5-star hotel, costly too. I had a scan there. Fortunately, insurance paid. I'll tell you where I went. Let me just see if I can reach this. There are a lot of options for hospitals. I don't think I can reach this. Hang on a sec. You know, if you stay around Sukhumvit, hang on, I'm using a ruler to get it here. There we are, got it. Right, if you stay, you know, it's very tempting because, yeah, Bumrungrad it's on Soi 3. Bumrungrad, it's probably the top hospital in Bangkok. And when COVID was on and the Thais were going there to get their tests and that, it was all high-end luxury cars parked, right? But you know, you don't need to go to that hospital. Make a little bit of effort, go on your phone and put local hospitals. You know, the great thing now, the phone will recognize where you are and it'll show you the hospitals. I went here to this hospital for all my COVID stuff, and I can tell you now that hospital was second to none. And I went and got a quote at Bumrungrad for a test before I got on the aeroplane, and they quoted me it was just under 5,000 baht for the test before I got on the aeroplane. And this hospital here charged me 2,500 baht. Okay, fantastic hospital. There's one on Rama 4, which is the back end of Sukhumvit. You know Soi 4, obviously, right? So you got Sukhumvit, Soi 4. If you go right to the end, used to be the tobacco monopoly. That's gone now. They're turning it into a kind of botanical gardens, a jungle within the city. Well, on the other side of that, you've got Rama 4. There's a hospital there where my youngest daughter was born. And that's a very good hospital, a third of the price of Bumrungrad. So, you know, if you're just going into a hospital, it's not, you know, you need to go for a hospital forever. Just check on your phone. There's a lot of options. You don't need to go to Bumrungrad. You're going to pay through the nose. Yes, it's an excellent top hospital, but think about it. If you're in the UK and we had to pay for hospitals here, would you go down to Harley Street in London? No, you wouldn't. Right, Wade Bower. The dental work, state of the art, also had a lot cheaper than the US. You know, I'm going to do a video on that when I get there because I'm planning to have some work done on my teeth. They're not bad or anything. Like I said, I had them cleaned the last time. The roots are kind of showing through my bottom teeth, so they're a bit dark, and that's what it is, the roots. And I want to get kind of like some kind of veneer or implants or a crown. I don't know. I just want to kind of close this gap that I've had since I was a kid. But they're great. You know, the dentists in if you need any kind of dental work done, they cost, you know, compared to your own country, if you pay for dentist work, then it's so much cheaper in Thailand and the work is excellent. Now, the thing is, in the UK, supposedly national health, we're supposed to get it free apart from paying our taxes. You can't. If you don't, you can't get into a dentist surgery to save your life. You know, you try and get an appointment with a dentist surgery here. Good luck with that one. I mean, there was a time where people were pulling out their own teeth. They were in so much agony. They were going down to the garden shed, getting a pair of pliers, and they were pulling out their own teeth. Why? Because they couldn't get into the dentist. It's terrible in the UK now. Absolutely hideous. Even if you go private, it's hard. You know, it's not as easy as it was. Great thing about Thailand, you know, I thought, right, I'll go and get my teeth cleaned. I didn't call up, make any appointments. I went to a clinic off Sukhumvit, never been there before. I just looked on my phone, dental clinic. All the clinics came up close to me. I thought, yeah, that one looks all right. That looks close enough. I'll go there. Walked down Sukhumvit, followed it on the map. down there in this kind of mall there. Yeah, second floor. Went in. I said, oh, went to the second floor, and let me just get rid of that. And I said, oh, can I, dentist, do I have to make an appointment? I knew I didn't have to make an appointment, but I said, can you clean my teeth? I'll wait here, please. And she went and spoke to the lady dentist. She said to me, mister, 30 minutes, you can come back. I said, yeah, no problem. I went out. I had a cold drink and a phone call to a friend, went back in, lovely female dentist, had a bit of a joke with her. And she said to me, well, if I was you, I'd not only get the scraping done, the electric scraper, but do the blower. And I thought, well, what the heck's a blower? But they've got this high-powered jet of air, but it shoots out some kind of molecules. I don't know what it is. I said, yeah, go for it. Knock your socks off. Give me the works. And do you know what? It took about 40 minutes. How much was it? 1,500 baht, so 30 pounds or 35 US dollars. And yeah, she got all the crap off, as it were. So yeah, I would definitely say, and I know there are people who fly to Thailand when they're having some serious dental work done. I'm talking about a whole, they're taking the kitchen sink out and they're putting a new, a new set in, like something that costs thousands in your own country. There's people who get a cheap ticket to Thailand, stay a week in Phuket or whatever, or wherever they're going to have it done. They have all this dentistry work done, and they've still got more money left when they get back to the States or wherever, even though they've paid for an air ticket and they've also paid for the dentistry work. So yeah, let me get to Thailand. Let me research it more. And I'll do some videos on dentistry and hospitalation. Can't get the word out. Only one bit. Going into hospital and things like that. Right. I've kind of ignored the comments for a while, so let me get back into these now. Okay. Right. Okay. So I don't know what's happened to Franco. So let me just get rid of him. Okay, I had a troll there. I didn't see him. Right. Peter, do you have yellow fever? British women are being left lonely and single because lads going off to Thailand. Yeah, and good quality porn doesn't help either, does it? Right. Hunter's Prime vlog. 6K USD, single guy solo vacation. I should be good, right? First time visiting. Yeah, but what you've left out there, Hunter's Prime vlog, sorry, what you've left out there is how long you were going for. Right. It depends what sort of a vacation you're going for. Let me try and give you an idea. If you're going to somewhere like Pattaya and you're going to entertain the ladies as well, you know what I mean, right? I would say a week, 6K US, yeah, a couple of $1,000 a week. You should be, yeah, definitely. You should be okay. You won't be able to go crazy, but you won't need to be a skinflint, as it were. Right, Thai Billy Boy. Have not seen anything from Simon Landers Smiles for about a year or more. Hope he is okay, missing his vlogs. Yeah, he's in the UK. He's not planning to go. From what I gather, he's not planning to go back. He's a channel that I used to watch because he did stories, didn't he? But he used to do stories from memory. But I used to enjoy his stories. But I'll be honest, what kind of irritated me a little bit about them was they went on for a long time. So you'd be watching a story, be getting to the end. What happened? A good storyteller. And it's like, so you'll have to wait and see till episode 158 when we find out what happens. And you watch episode 150. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. But you're a very good storyteller. Mike Kelso. I thought truckers are on. Yeah, I thought that. I thought truckers are on good pay. I work for a large coach company that drives from Manchester to London and back. I'm on £13.50 an hour and £15 an hour on Sunday. Yeah. I don't know because I don't drive a truck, but maybe they can tell you here. Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that up. Well, he can't leave any more comments, Franco, because he's gone. How long we've been going? Wow. Okay, Clive, you made it. Hi, Peter. Nice to see you again on a Sunday. Yeah, I've already been going for like an hour and 40 minutes, Clive. So it won't be too much longer. I tell you what, Peter, superstar. Let me just, where is it? It's showing up on that screen. I'm not screen. I'm going to wait till the comment shows up so I can put it up before I answer. There we go. Right. Peter, very generous. Thank you, mate. Peter, how are the sales of your book coming along? I've just received my paperback copy delivered by Amazon. Will there be a volume 2 stories? Will there be a volume 2? There'll be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It depends on Andrew Hammond. He's helping me with the book. He's an author. He's got his own book out. I'm not clever enough to do it. He does it with me. And, how many books have I sold? Well, put it this way: if it was in a bookshop in Bangkok Airport, for instance, in normal times, I'd probably have my feet up, big time. No, I've not done too bad. I mean, the book's only been out a month. Where is it? I'll put it on the shelf there. I've sold about 50 copies in a month, about 50 copies. So I don't know if that's good or if it's bad. I'm happy with it. I mean, if somebody would have told me 10 years ago you'll have a book out one day, I would have said you've got to mix more water with it. But yeah, 50 copies. I'm happy with that. And it's ongoing. Right. Paul Shacker says, I plan to take 70,000 baht for 3 weeks in November. Right. Now, Paul, what I would say to you is I hope that 70,000 is just your spending money, right? Because what I tend to do, I'll pay for my air ticket and my hotel, the majority of it online. So I think, right, that's done and dusted. And always pay on a credit card, because if you pay by a debit card, they take your money out of your account and that's it gone. If you pay on a credit card, you can pay it off a week later. You can pay it on a credit card. As soon as you've got it, go and pay it off immediately. The reason I say that is because you've got a lot more cover with a credit card, haven't you? So if you buy an air ticket, pay it on a credit card. As soon as the deal's gone through, go straight the next day, go and pay it off. But you've got that protection, haven't you? So 70,000 baht for 3 weeks, presuming you've paid for your hotel and everything. What's that? It's about 23,000 a week. What's that divided by 7? It's going to be about 3,000 baht a day. Yeah, I mean, don't go crazy, Paul. You'll be okay with that. But just, you know what I mean by don't go crazy. 3,000 baht a day, yeah, it's doable. If I go out and have a really wild time, I'll do anything between sort of 4,000 and 6,000 baht a day, but not every day. That's like a blowout night, like a Saturday night. Right, Johnny Boy Edwards, new to the chat. I drive a bus in London, get £17 to £25 an hour. That's a good salary, good salary. The problem in the UK, you can never win though, because once you get over a certain threshold, what they do, they start taxing you at 40%. So, you know, you get a good job and then, you know, you pay. I'll just pay my tax, but I'm self-employed. I've just paid £4,000 tax. That might not be a lot of money to some people, but considering I can't get a doctor's appointment, it's a lot of money to me. Right, Sentai X1 says, I have a sneaky feeling you were speaking, me or somebody else. I have a sneaky feeling you were speaking about Cheap Charlie earlier. Was surprised to see him back as well. No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. No, I'm not going to tell you who it was. James Casey, who's the comment under yours, he told me about it. I wasn't talking about Cheap Charlie. I was talking about somebody else you might not know. I don't want to mention here who he is because there's a bit of history there and some things went on. Yeah, James says, Paul Shacker, 70,000 is a bit of a struggle. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say it was going to be a bit of a struggle, but you won't be flush. Look, Paul, if you're going for 3 weeks, try and take 4,000 baht a day. You should be good to go with 4,000 baht a day. You still won't live like a king, but you'll live pretty good. You'll have a good time, rather. Because don't forget now, prices have gone up in Thailand. If you're talking about the girls, 2 years ago, 1,500 baht would see you okay. You know, okay, just try and take 4,000 baht a day. Did you meet your wife in Thailand? No, she's from South Korea, and I met her in Busan, which is now Busan, about 34 years ago, actually. Right, Paul Shackleton. Yes, 70,000 is just fun money. Yeah, so you've seen the other comment there from James Casey. It is a bit tight, actually, Paul. I mean, I don't know. If you're not going to entertain any ladies, you're not going to buy any ladies' drinks, and you're not going to take any ladies out of the bar, it's more than enough, right? But if you're going to entertain the lady, it's a bit tight. It is a bit tight. Because don't forget, it's not just the cost of the deed. You know, you've got to, it's ladies' drinks, maybe a meal here or there, you know. Right, Jonathan says 120 baht a day. Right, what I'd be interested to have here, right, just so we'll do this now for Paul Shackleton, right? You see what he said, 70,000 baht for 3 weeks. If you're one of those guys who goes to Pattaya and you're a monger, and when you get there, all you do is go out drinking every night. You sleep till lunchtime, and you pull a lady friend most nights. Let's say 5 out of 7. What would your daily budget be? So you're eating well. You're staying in a budget hotel, which is paid for. You're going out drinking every night. You're buying ladies' drinks. You're doing bar fines, and you are entertaining the ladies. So don't forget, ladies' drinks, bar fines, cost of the deed. what's your daily rate? You stick it up there, and I'll let Paul know how much it is. Do you know what we should do now? Hang on, it was Rick. Let me just see what Ricky says here. It was actually £2. Thailand, $1,900 in Canada. Estimate was 3,400. I could have saved more if I went to cheaper clinic, but the clinic I went to was top notch. Okay. Right, I'll tell you what. Let me do this because a couple of people asked me. Let me do this impersonation of Ed Sweeney that Damon done. Okay, so I'm sure you know what this is. It's about a minute long, so you know Ed Sweeney. If you watched if you don't watch Ed Sweeney, you won't get this. But basically, Ed about 3/4 of the way through his stream, he goes into his kitchen, squeaky door. He brings out a pork pie. He eats his pork pie. He makes all these funny noises. Then he'll drink, and he's banging the last drop out of his can. Damon did an impression. Ed Sweeney thought it was really funny. I turned it into a mini movie. I showed it on Friday. A couple of people haven't seen it. I'm going to play it now. We'll do it once and then it's gone.
Are we live? Who's in the chat? Thailand bound. What's he say? What have you got for your dinner tonight? Well, tonight I have the Aldi $1.99 shepherd's pie special. And I've got a sneaky feeling I'm really going to enjoy this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at that. Yes. Let's have a little go. Oh, God Almighty. Let's have a let's do it again. Let's try it again. Wash it down with a bit of this. Oh, bloody lovely stuff. Oh, let's get a little bit of a top up on that. The old Kronenberg. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, fucking.
Okay, well done to Damon for that. Just a bit of fun. Right, let's get back to this question now about a daily budget for a manga. David Walters, is it Walters? Yeah, you're saying 6,000 baht a day. Now, look, just keep in mind the criteria. You've gone to Pattaya. You're not going there to go to temples and sit on the beach all day. You are a manga, right? You're going there. You're going to be drinking from early evening right through. You've had your dinner. You're going to be doing ladies' drinks everywhere you go. You're going to be paying a bar fine and you're going to be paying for the deed, right? What do you reckon is your decent budget? Now, we have got people coming in now. This is for you, Paul Shackleton. You're going to get a really good idea now. And if you're not entertaining the ladies, then you're going to save money, right? So David Waters says 6,000 baht a day. Rumble says 5,000 baht a day. James Casey, let me just put that one up. He says, I take 5,000 baht out for a night out and often have to get another 2,000 or 3,000 baht. But I'd say 5,000 baht is a good night. Yeah, pretty good. I generally take 6, but look to do the 4 maximum. That's if I'm on holiday, you know. Steve Kostick says 4,000 a day minimum. So if you're there, Paul, if you're watching this, you think about your budget, you're on 3,000 baht a day. It's pretty low, isn't it? Richard Harris says, Richard says, I think about 8,000 Thai baht a day to have a really good time. That seems on the high side to me, Richard. But you know, I don't know what you do. You might like to sit with two ladies and buy them both a drink multiple times. Fair play to you, Steve. 4,000 a day. Richard Harris, I think about 8,000 Thai baht per day to have a really good time. Dave, 7,000. Dave Halpin. Steve says 5 to 6. Thai Billy Boy says 5,000. Hard Tulip says not this video again. Yep, that video again. Glenn Howes, you need about 150 quid a day, which is 6,000 baht a day. Gemini Star says 100, which is 4,000 baht a day. Mark Hanley, you have to take Mark, I'm going off to count my hundreds of thousands of pounds. I'm only pulling your leg, no hard feelings. Right, you have to take into account Monga budget, so maybe 200 to 300 pounds a day. That 200 pounds is 300 pounds. That's a lot. 12,000 baht a day. I don't know. That's a lot of money. James Case again. I reckon the figure 4 to 8 a day on holiday. I'm going to come up with at the end of this. I'm going to give what I would recommend to Paul. Okay. So X. I can't read that name out, unfortunately. I'll put it up there. I'll just call you X. Pierce, 70 baht is 70,000 k, 1,600 quid. Mate, I can live off 200 euros in Portugal. Yeah, but they don't have in Portugal what they have in Thailand. You know what I mean? Right, Farang Travels, I do 40,000 baht a week. Richard Harris, 8,000 baht. Do you know what's really difficult? Well, it's not difficult. When you live out there, when you go out there vacation, you've saved up your money. So you tend to be a 2-week millionaire. That's fair enough. It's quite a derogatory term, isn't it? He's a 2-week millionaire. But I don't think there's a problem with that, because if you're a postman or a van driver or a taxi driver and you work hard for your money and you've been squirreling away your money for Thailand, maybe you take 2 trips a year, and when you're there, you don't want to think about money. When I'm in Thailand, I don't even look at the prices on a menu. You know, I'll just do it. You know, so if you're a 2-week millionaire, why not? You know, have a good time, spend your money, and then go back and do it all again. Right. Is that, how do you say your name? STE Bilbo, 7,000, have a blast. And don't forget, in Bangkok, you'll probably need quite a bit more, because Pattaya is a lot cheaper than Bangkok. It really is. Yeah, Jonathan Gavin, I don't think that much, man. That's a lot of money. Right, Mike says, I'm not much of a drinker, but it doesn't matter. If you've gone into go-go bars and beer bars, even though you're not much of a drinker, you drink sodas, Cokes, soda water, you're going to pay nearly as much as a beer anyway. You're not going to go into a go-go bar and pay 20 baht. And even in a beer bar, if the beer's 140 baht, you'll pay 100 baht for the soda, definitely. Gemini Star says, we're talking about the, let me get his comment up there. It says, oh, that's the wrong one. Right, we're talking about mongering budget only. No, we're talking about a night out as a monger. So in other words, you're not going out to have a meal and then you're going to the cinema, then you're going to go to Dairy Queen to ice cream and then go home. What you're going to do, we're talking about a daily budget. So you get up, you have a nice full English, okay, that's in the budget, right? And then not trips and stuff like that. Let's just include breakfast. You go out early evening, you have your dinner, and then it's action time, right? So you're going out, you're paying for ladies' drinks, you're paying for your drinks, you're paying bar fines, you're doing the works, right? It's for everything. Sawan Sharama, let me put that up there. Thanks for your comments today as well. Sawan, 4,000 baht a day minimum, and most time over 6. I generally do okay on 4,000, but then I'm not, being married, I'm not with the ladies, am I? So most of mine is on too much alcohol. Any lady boy can make 8,000 baht a night without breaking a sweat. Okay. James Casey says, Mark Hanley, so I guess I'm a monger, made it. Yeah, I don't count the money I spend it all day. Oh no, 5K per night, and then some if it needs be. Yeah. I think most people who go on vacation to Thailand, I'm saying vacation now for a world-class audience, and most people who go on holiday, you know, they're not really counting the pennies, are they? Because where the big money goes, where you save, you know, you're going to go economy or economy upgrade. You're going to choose your hotel that suits you. Once that's done and dusted, then it's just about going out every day and having a good time. Nobody wants to count the pennies, and nobody wants to come across as a real flash guy. So, you know, everybody has their own budget. Taxi Talal says, what does he say? He says, entire holiday, I usually do 18 19 nights, 2,500 for the lot, including flights, but I don't go to Pattaya. Yeah, don't forget, there are a lot of people who aren't into the bar scene, but most of them aren't on this channel. Right. Terry says there's so much more to do than just, but I've just touched on that, haven't I? Hello, mate. I haven't seen you for a while. I did watch a couple of your videos. What was the one I watched? You got caught drinking on your motorbike or something. I'm here all day, every day, 6509 baht easy, really easy. Yeah. So hopefully you're having a good time down there. Didn't you ask that already? What's a manga? Okay. Matthew says 5,300 3 weeks. Okay, so I think we've got the idea now. We can move away from this subject. So Paul Shackleton, that was just for you, 15 minutes or 10 minutes dedicated for you. So I think realistically, if you're going out as a monga, and to the guy who said, what's a monga is a guy who goes out to Thailand, to a town, say like Pattaya, and he's interested in female company. I'm keeping it clean for YouTube, but he's not interested in meeting one girl to spend the whole vacation with, right? He's interested in meeting lots of different girls. Okay, you have to... that's a manga. Yeah, I think personally myself, I think 4,000 to 5,000 baht is very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Okay. Mark, thank you for that, mate. Tenner for the pot. Yeah, you're giving me that because you now realize I've convinced you I'm not middle class, I'm not rich, and I don't have hundreds of thousands in the bank. Let me just put my email address up there. I'd be interested if there's a reason why you thought that. Look, there's my email address. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. What? I don't know. Am I giving something off that kind of gives that impression? I'd like to know because maybe I'll like lower the tone or something like that. But I hope my explanation wasn't. I hope I didn't upset you on Friday, and I hope you. Well, I didn't because you gave me a super chat. Thanks for that. Right, Spider 0064. 4 drinks including LDs in a go-go bar. 1,000 baht times 4 go-go's. That's 4,000 baht already at 100. Just a bit of a hands-on fun of the rest. Okay, and yeah, really hands-on. I know what you mean. Matthew Alcorn, 1,000 baht a night if you get street meat, but you might get robbed. Well, I don't think even I know it's a kind of quite a rough term there, Matthew. You're talking about freelancers, but I think you'll struggle a whole night on 1,000 baht. I think you'd struggle on that nowadays. You know, prices are not as cheap as they were. Ricky, why pay ladies drink? Just find a girl right away. I can answer that in a very good way. Let me just have a slurp on this. Now, I'm only going from experience with friends, right? I go out with friends and I see this all that I sit with them. I can see what's going on. Now, for a lot of guys, it's not about just doing the deed. Okay, you can walk out onto Beach Road, point your finger, click your fingers, get a good deal. It's done and dusted. It's not about that. Guys go out there for a good time, okay? So what a lot of these guys do, and I don't have the experience because I've been married, as I keep saying, but I've been out with guys and I've seen this lots and lots of times. And what it is, they don't want to go out and just sort of like go to the beach and pick somebody up. It's not about that. It's about going out, drinking, watching, having a good selection. Maybe yes, maybe no. I like that one. Let's go somewhere else. And then it's about the game, isn't it? You know, inviting somebody down for a drink and all the bullshit that goes with it. And then eventually it's kind of like, let's go for a little bit to eat together. And then, you know, and it goes on. And that's what they enjoy. It's not just about that, you know, that moment in time, as it were. It's about going out, selecting, having a look. It's about all that. Excuse me. Jeff, what? I can't say that. Jeff Fried Rice. You present yourself as successful, or it's your charisma. Have I got charisma that makes you seem wealthier than you might be? I'm certainly not poor. Let me just, Jeff, you present yourself as successful. Well, I try to. The thing is, I don't want to come on here and come across as a total loser. I've seen YouTube characters, people that I've seen people who do YouTube channels, and one in particular in Pattaya, and they're just saddos. So, you know, they'll come on and they're total e-beggars. You know, they'll say, look, I've got to pay the rent, and it's worse than talking to a bar girl. So, look, you know, when you come onto a stream, when you're on a public forum like this, I do enjoy doing it. I'm not getting... you know, you've got to try and engage with people, haven't you? And if you know, on the Friday streams, if I'm doing some news and some fun things like that, you're going to enjoy it. But the question is, I asked Mark because Mark thought I had loads of money and I was from a middle-class family. And I said, why did you think that? And you said, you present yourself as successful, or it's your... Yeah, okay, thanks for that. I take that as a compliment. But I don't know why. It's just I'm not putting on an act. That's just how I am. Right. Someone else who knows I'm not rich. Right. Alan Clark, thank you very much. What a nice Sunday surprise. I'm sitting in the car waiting for my wife to come out of the mall shopping and saw your live stream. Cheers. Yeah, thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. That will get me about a case of my favorite beer. I'm going to show everyone again. Look, Oldie, $2.99 for 4. It's fantastic. Right. I'm expecting a call from Oldie. Are you that Peter from Thailand Band? We'd like to send you a big check because we've been watching and every week you promote the lager, but it won't happen, will it? Okay, let's have a look. Who else we got? Okay, sorry. Right, I would agree with Pete. 4 to 5, and you will have 1 or 2 days to make it. Yeah, don't forget as well. The other thing is, guys, when you're calculating your daily budget, even if you are a monger, you cannot, especially if you're our sort of age. I know you can buy the rocket fuel that will help you fly, but you just can't keep it up. You'll get what they call patio burnout. You cannot go out every single night drinking alcohol, staying out all night, and banging birds. It'll just you can't do it. Guys I know who do it, they have to have 1 or 2 days minimum where they'll come out and they say, I'm going to take it easy tonight, and they will carry on drinking, but they go home and they have a darn good sleep, so they'll go home maybe 2 a.m. They won't wake up till 2 p.m. the next day, and they have a good meal and they get replenished. Do you know what? I've only had 1 beer and I feel a bit has my face gone red? It's because it's early. I don't normally drink at this time. 2 hours now we've been going. Right, we've got over 400 in. That's good. Do you know what? I might change the stream to a Sunday. Is Sunday a better day? Because the reason I don't do Sundays, there's a couple of reasons. One is because of work, but I'm finishing work in 4 weeks, so I won't have to get up on Mondays. So that's one reason. The second reason is a lot of the patio YouTubers seem to choose a Sunday. So you had Trevor doing his on a for our time in the morning. Then you had Nick Dean and Martin doing theirs in the afternoon. I don't think there was one in the evening, but do you know what? I've actually had more people in here tonight, and I haven't done anything, than I had on Friday. So maybe Sunday's a better night. And the thing is, starting at 7 o'clock is a very good time actually, because I've been starting at 9 o'clock on a Friday, and some of the streams have gone on for 4 hours, and it's like, what's that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. And when I get up on a Saturday, I have to do the stories. I'm just so tired, So is Sunday a better day? I don't know. Maybe I'll change to Sunday for the live streams. I read that already. Okay. Yeah, good way of putting it. The rookie cameraman. Okay, so basically 6 baht a day if you're a monger and around 3 baht if you're not. I would say even less if you're not. I would say you could get by on. People might say I'm wrong here, but I'm just giving a personal opinion. I would say if you're not doing the go-go bar bit, I think 2,000 baht you could get by on, because you think about what you're going to do in a day, right? So you get up, you're going to have a nice meal. How much is a nice meal going to cost in a Thai sort of, in patio? You're talking 150 baht for a nice all-day breakfast, aren't you? And then in the afternoon, someone like me, I'll go on the beach. I'll rent one of their deck chairs, 30 baht. I might have a plate of fried rice mid-afternoon, something like that, another 50 baht. So we're up to about 250 baht so far. Go back, have a shower and everything, go out and have a bit of dinner, nice dinner, 200 baht, 300, say 300 baht, let's be generous. So our daily budget so far now is about, let's say, 600 baht, okay? So we've got 1,600 baht left. Now, if you're not going out, you're not choosing ladies, you're not a big drinker, you walk a few bars, let's just say on average you're paying 160 baht, 180 baht, and that's expensive in a beer bar. 1,600 baht, you're going to get, half a dozen beers. You could do it, couldn't you? But yeah, you're probably right. 3,000 baht is going to be more comfortable, isn't it? 2,000 is a bit tight, but you could do it. What's that? Nick's real. Why do the cement walls in Thailand go black? Humidity. Absolutely, that's what it is, isn't it? It's humidity. The best way to treat humidity. I've got. Well, I won't tell you what I've got, but the best way to treat humidity, if you get mold on your walls, what you do, and this works for, when you run your bath, I'll tell you how to do that as well. This is really Thailand talk, isn't it? But now you brought it up. If you get mold on the wall or on your ceiling, so sometimes you go in the bathroom, it's covered in black spots. Wear glasses, safety goggles. What you do, pour some decent bleach into a cup that you're never going to use again. Get a paintbrush and paint it very slowly so you don't splash it. Within 15 minutes, all that black will be gone. And even around the bath, sometimes you look at the bath and you see all that black in the, you know, the, what do you call it, the filler around the edge, it goes black, and you think, well, I'll have to cut that out with a Stanley knife and redo it because it looks like it's inside. No, you get an old t-shirt or something, you rip that into strips and you drop that into bleach and put the strips of cloth round your bath and then do it for about 3 nights in a row. It will go totally white, like you've just done it. Well, I've discovered that there's a channel I like to watch, it gives all these tips, and yeah, I mean, that does work, you know, it works really well. Right. Mohammed, for me, 50k a week, no way to go cheap in Pattaya. The country itself is cheap. Only one thing I do cheap, the bus from Bangkok to Pattaya, 120 baht. Yeah, 50,000 baht for a week. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Right, it's not even late night, is it? Look, Blow and Go, Beach Road, 1,000 baht. Where would you go for that? Mark Hanley, right. Peter doesn't e-beg. Peter, I never said middle class, mate. Lost in translation, maybe. No, I said middle class because you said I got hundreds of thousands. I look like I got hundreds of thousands, but let's bury that one, okay? Right, John. I don't know. Do I look like one of those guys who's got lots of money? I look. I'll be honest with you guys. Right? I'm not poor. You know, I've worked hard all my life. I left school when I was 15. I've never taken a day off work. I was fairly successful in my career in the hotel industry. And I've always put my best effort into anything I've done, but I'm certainly not rich. I believe me, honestly, that is true. Right. Okay. We've got someone called, is it, how do I say that? RUX Gaming. Right. I just seen a streamer this morning saying donate because he fights be expensive to go to, because his flights are expensive. You know, I wouldn't give it, you know, you won't believe this. I've actually given super chats. I'll tell you about that in a second. Hang on. I was watching Ed Sweeney's channel one night, okay? Now, I'm a YouTuber who gets super chats. I was watching him. I sent him a tenner. You know, I did. I was on the whiskey, though. He used to buy a channel called Do More Life with an American guy called Jeremy. He had a big addiction problem in country. He went to the Philippines, and then he went to Thailand, sorted himself out. And I used to super chat him because he was a very positive guy. And I don't think it's right that people come into a public forum like this and they hint or ask for money, because it's not right. Okay, it's not right. We all like money. We all work hard. You know, if somebody likes what you're doing and they think, you know, I want to go buy that guy 4 beers, here's $5 or whatever it is, fair enough, no problem. We all like money, right? But to actually go into a public forum like this and say, could you please send me some money? I mean, I think it's nothing less than sickening. Sorry, but I do. And it would turn me right off anybody. If I watched a YouTube channel and someone said, I told you the other week there was a guy, he was doing a live stream. He said, well, I've had enough now. He said, I'm going to go and take it easy. But, you know, if you want me to stay, give me a few super chats and I'll do a bit more. I would have deleted the guy. I would have deleted him and double deleted him if there's such a thing. Right. Someone sent me a super chat. I wasn't hinting for super chats, honestly. Paul Shackleton. Right. Lager tonight, not whiskey. I'm saving. Yeah, that's 4 of the, I can't pronounce it, Paul. How do you pronounce? If I heard it once, I could say it. It's called, is it 70? It's, I don't know. How do you say that? Good lager, though. Thanks, Paul. That'll buy 4 of them. Do you know, I've got a little ladyboy competition lined up. It's different to what I did before, but I don't want to do it because I got really good numbers in tonight. This is better than Friday. And what happens when I do the ladyboy competition? What I've done now, I've done that already, Mazza. I've done it already. I can't do it again. Sorry. With a ladyboy competition, I used to do it halfway through the stream just for fun. And I noticed I'd have maybe, say, 400 people in. And after the ladyboy competition, I'd look, there'd be 350. So obviously a lot of people don't like it, but a lot of people do like it. So I've started doing it towards the end of the stream now. And it doesn't, most of the people at the end of the stream, sort of like 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight, they're all pissheads anyway, right? Like me. So it doesn't matter. But I've got one lined up tonight. One of the ones I used to do in the old days. And I thought, well, I'll keep that as a reserve because if I'm in the, it's been good. You know, there's a lot of people in here. We've had some good conversations going. Let me put that up so I don't forget. We've had some good conversations going and it's still going quite strong. But I put that there just in case we had a slack moment. But I think I'm going to give it a miss, to be honest with you guys, because I've got, you know, I've had over 400 in for the last sort of 2 hours and it's gone quite well. I don't want to put people off. Right. Sawan Shrama, if moisture is allowed to drip or collect on the surface, it can discolor, it can cause black spots. You can paint coating to avoid this. Yeah, good advice. Paul Shackleton. Yeah, okay. Frankel too. No, I'm not doing the Ladyboy competition. Right, geezers, how are you doing, mate? Nice to see you in. Hello, Peter. Give North London a big shout out, mate. You're spoiling us use for the weekend. Yeah, absolutely. You left a comment on the channel today, and I answered it. And when you look at it, it might look like I'm being kind of negative towards you. I'm not. I always give I don't try and upset people, but I don't try and I don't butter up to people. So I've put a reply to your comment in a very sensible way with what I honestly think. Okay, so don't take offense by it. And it wasn't against you personally. But yeah, big shout out for geezers, Haringey, from where I used to. Well, you know where my mother lives now, right? I told you the name of the street. Okay, so I better keep you happy, or she'll be round there. Right, Peter, stop. Peter stopped asking for super chat. Yeah, I've never ever asked for a super chat. I've never even hinted at one. Sometimes I get embarrassed because there's people who come into the stream who are actually friends, and they send me a Damon. There we go. Look, there he is, superstar. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. He's in, guys. We are not. Wayne's World. We are not worthy. How was the? I know you can't answer me. You've been on once tonight, Damien. You have featured. You are now officially a superstar on Thailand Bad. How was Goodwood today? Did you have a good time? Nice to see you in the stream. You know what, Damien? I tell you what, Damien.
Are we live? Who's in the chat? Thailand bound. What's he say? What have you got for your dinner tonight? Well, tonight I have the Aldi 199 shepherd's pie special. And I've got a sneaky feeling I'm really going to enjoy this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a little go. Oh, God Almighty. Let's have a. Let's do it again. Let's try it again. Wash it down with a bit of this. Oh, bloody lovely stuff. Oh, let's get a little bit of a top up on that. The old Kronenberg. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, fucking.
Right, that's it, Damien, your debut. I've done that about 6 times since Friday. So the next one people are waiting for, they're waiting for you to do another one, but you're supposed to do me, right? So whatever you do, I won't get offended. Do it, send it to me, and I'll make it into a little movie. Right, let me just say thank you to a couple of people. Super chats. Cheers, Peter. Always enjoy the live streams, mate. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Kevin. Very generous. And also to, will I be able to pronounce that? Let me try. Chan Ranjit. HGV, LGV, PCV, CV. I don't want to say that one about a drink. Yeah, anyway, I'll just say thank you very much for the super sticker. Right. You're still there, Franco? Yeah, you are. Right, okay. Kareem Farhan from the jungle. Eddie is loving it up in Romania, ATM, fondling those saucy birds. I haven't had a chance to catch any of his streams yet because the weekend is a very busy time for me preparing stuff for me. I've done the stories Saturday and Sunday, but I'll try and catch up with the old boy. I'll try and catch up with Ed this week. Right, hey then. Got something new from the tips and for the new visitors, invaluable information, advice. Yeah, thanks, hey then. I had a couple of complainers. Some guy wrote in and said, oh, this is old hat. There's thousands of videos. No, I had a guy write to me actually. He said, there's 10,000 videos about what not to do in Thailand. And I just wrote back and said, well, now there's 10,001. Right, okay. Stringer, is it Stringer? Horrible, insulting name to have in the chat. Who? Horrible, insulting name to have in the chat. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just looking at the other names. No, it's gone over my head. You'll have to explain yourself. Any good massage spots? Whereabouts? Right, Gemini Star. Steph, you are looking for trouble with a comment like that. Okay, so I've missed that. So we got. Let me just see if I can see what is right. Right, you're in the background there, Franco. Just have a look at that. I'm just trying to find it. No, I can't see it. What's he wrote? Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, you know what? Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. We won't see him on this channel again, ever. Right. Okay. That's 2 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Okay. My free TV box. Just give us the results of the Ladyboy competition. Yeah, last week again. Paul Shackleton. That's how your lager is pronounced. Yeah, but I've got to hear it. I mean, you've written. Oh, you've done it. Yeah. Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne. I think it's easier to say Stella, isn't it? Because that's what they've copied. Saint Etienne. Okay, I've got it now. Saint Etienne. Yeah, but I'll probably forget. Okay. Jeff Fried Rice. Peter, just rearrange the Ladyboy competition and change the answer from number 2. It's not always number 2. Right. Should we do the Ladyboy competition? I don't know. I wasn't going to do it. Let's do it. Sod it. Right. Okay. This is one I did a year ago and it's in a different format. So I'm not going to read out all your answers because it's quite a difficult one. When I started doing the Ladyboy competition the first time, I did it like this and I thought it was good. But I later realized it was quite difficult because there's a lot of pictures. It moves very fast. And there's what I'm going to play you is a montage. There's 18 images, okay? And only 3 of them are ladies. So grab your pen and paper. You can write the answers. We'll see if they're right or not. But I'm not, you know, like normally I'll read them. I'll say no, yes, no. Yeah. I'm not going to do that because it's quite complicated, okay? So I'll run it just for fun as we're nearing, we're getting later into the stream now. So 18 photographs. 3 of these are ladies. Just let me know which one of the, put it in the comments. Let's have a look. Let me make sure I don't put the answers up. Right. 3. Which 3? Right. The closest one I've got to a right answer is Brian Roberts. You got one of them. Let's have a look. Anybody else? James Casey, you got one of them. It's really hard for me as well because there's 3 of them. I have to keep looking at the answers there. Crab Clog. No. Yeah. TG 2450, you got 1. I think you got 1, yeah. Thai Billy Boy, you didn't get any. Rayon X Gaming, you got 1. You got 1. Oh, you got 2. Yeah, Steve White. Who got 2? Hang on. Yeah, Steve White, you got 1. Somebody got 2 there. I missed it. It's hard for me as well to keep up. All right, I'll run it again now, and it changes. It'll give you the answer here. So just for fun, you'll know if you got them right or not. Well, you can see why I changed the format, can you? It's very, very difficult. I just had that in the background there, but yeah, that format, that way of doing it is much harder than how I normally do it. But anyway, it filled a void, didn't it? Right. Martin Ryder said, well, that was entertaining. Yeah, absolutely. Are you ex-gaming? October, I'm going out to Japan for job opportunities, so I might have a chance to go to Bangkok. You should, if you haven't been there, especially. I have only been to Japan in transit. I'd love to go there, but what puts me off about it, and I understand it's very expensive. Japanese girls, I think, are very, very attractive. Most of them. Okay, Franco says, Paul Shackleton, it is, but I'm trying to, okay. Yeah, Franco's moderating 2 channels at the moment because I'm not the only one who's live. Somebody else is live, but I'm not going to tell you who it is because you'll run off and watch him. Right, it's not Ed Sweeney. Mark Hanley again. Find the niche like Pat or Pete Tyrish. Yeah, with Pat, I got a lot of respect for Pat. I mean, I met him, I interviewed him, he interviewed me. I won't go into what happened. His videos are different. But you see, what you got to remember about Bangkok Pat, he is half Thai. I suspect he speaks the language a lot better than he says he does, because I said he speaks fluent Thai, and he said, well, not really, but I think he does, you know. And, you know, what he does is unique. Like me reading the stories, I'm sure there's other. I had a guy, look, here's another I don't know what it is. This week, I've had some funny emails. I had a guy, and you can see, no, you can't because I blocked him. I had a guy, he left a comment. He said, I've got loads of stories from Thailand, but they'll cost you 200 baht each. So I thought about it, and I replied, and I said, well, you better keep them to yourself then, hadn't you? So he then wrote back to me, left a comment back to me, and he said, right, I'm going to start up my own YouTube channel, download all the stories off your channel, and re-upload them in another language. And I'm like, do what you want, mate. I wish you all the best. Congratulations. I'll be your first subscriber. But there's some funny people out there. Yeah, exactly. The rookie cameraman, Peter, get another bevy down here. Easy, Tiger. Yeah, it wound me up, didn't it? I was wound up. What's that? Crapplot, I witnessed this from another channel, Do More Life. They killed him. Who did they kill? I witnessed this from another channel, Do More Life. They killed him. No, you're joking, aren't you? Who killed? You're talking about Jeremy? Give me more details, please. Right. No, I won't. I mean, that is really surprising. I was looking at other comments, but I'm thinking about that because I used to watch Do More Life, Jeremy, and he come across as a pretty decent guy who'd had a problem with addictions, and he was the one who told everyone. I'm not letting the cat out the bag, but you know, if another channel said they killed him, I would suspect that they're like the guy who's just been on here. I would be really surprised. Oh, I've lost that. I've just seen something great there. I wanted to read out. Where is it? I'm taking my time because I'm trying to find this. Right. Franco, are you putting people on a salary? Look at this. Look. How much you paying him? All right. Okay. Dutch Frank says, Franco is watching Paul. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. Chris. Now, don't let the tossers get you down there. You're a good bloke, Peter. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. I don't get down, but they wind me up. I've got to be honest with you. I do bite. I don't want to bite, but I do bite, and I try to control. Brian, calm down. Have a nifty whiskey. Okay, look, I've got one. I actually had a cheeky one when I did the Ladyboy competition. Look, it's a bit early, and I got to work tomorrow, so. We had about 440 in. I lost a lot of them on the Ladyboy competition, as always. Still 360 in, so we'll keep it going for a while. How long will we be going? 2.5 hours. Right. Danish bacon. Franco's got an eye on brandy. All right, I'm not going to... okay, you're switching from stream to stream, I think, Danish bacon. Okay. I have, Mazza, I have. It's there. You're on the Jameson, aren't you? You've had 2 Jameson. I'm not a wealthy man like you, Mazza. I'm on the co-op whiskey. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. I suspect it's the same whiskey that gets made for Tesco's, Morrison, all the big brands. They just put their own labels on it. Okay, quite a lengthy comment here. Kareem Farang from the jungle. There's something about Thailand. People love Spain, the Med, etc. Others love Asia. I lean towards Asia, and that's why I live there. I holiday in Europe to visit family. Fair enough. Yeah. I've been my job took me to a lot of countries around the world. A lot I liked, a lot I didn't. Well, no, a lot I liked, a few I disliked. Some of them were really good, but none of them come close to Thailand. I've been to some countries that I really had a good time and I really enjoyed, but they just didn't come close to Thailand. Right, a nomad overseas. Good to see you in again, mate. Right, honestly, I find Irish Times and Bangkok Pete. I don't know who Bangkok Pete is. Honestly, I find Irish Times and Bangkok Pete to be about the best Thailand-based vloggers. Retired, working for you, also very good. Not the usual copy and paste format of the others. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, when I go to Thailand, will I be a copy and paste? I don't know. No, I won't be. I know what you mean by that, because what happens is, I'm not going to name anybody or any location, but I have witnessed it myself. So you'll get a new venue open up, and somebody will go and film it and say, look, we're here, it's opening, it's great, here's the owner, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, another vlogger will do the same subject, and then it goes on like that. Yeah, I know exactly. I definitely won't be like that. I don't know who you meant to say Bangkok Pat, didn't you? Yeah, Bangkok Pat is more of a kind of documentary style. He's good. That Irish Times, I have seen him. I've not watched any of his videos. I believe somebody told me he does nothing but interviews. I don't know if that's true or not. And that retired working for you. He's quite successful, isn't he? But he's not the biggest Thailand YouTuber. The biggest Thailand YouTuber, of course, is CB Media. We are not worthy. We're not worthy. Right, right. Dutch Frank says, all mongers should get along with each other. Right, yeah. Yeah, that's one guy I did watch. Paddy Doyle's doing a great Vietnam trip. I did watch it. Look, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but when I watch his videos, he kind of comes across like Mark said about me. He kind of comes across as a guy who comes from a kind of middle class I don't know why I imagine this. He looks like he comes from a kind of middle class background. I might be totally wrong, but that's just how I perceive him. You know, his accent and how he is. You know, he doesn't look like he grew up in a council house. I might be wrong, and I'm not knocking him for it. And I did watch his video, and yes, it was very good. Right, Mike Kelso, is it? There's only a few vloggers I watch. You, Dan the Man, Keys, One, and Thai Brit Abroad. Yeah, so some of them you're talking about now are younger vloggers. I know who they are. I don't watch them because there's a kind of time gap between me and them. I make a big sort of effort not to watch too many, because I don't want to watch a Thai vlogger and think, I'll do that. I want to come up with my own stuff. And if people say it's being done by that guy, fair enough, no problem. D. Turley, are you learning to speak Thai more fluently before moving there full time? How is your learning? Well, you might not know this, D, but I actually do speak quite a lot of Thai now. Now, I won't give you any BS. I'm not fluent by a long shot, but I'm okay, if you know what I mean. I started taking serious Thai lessons online from the UK. I had a Thai teacher, lovely girl, only 25 years old. Her name was Oi. That's how you pronounce it, right? You've got to do that, Oi. And she was charging me £10.47 an hour. We started off on a platform. We moved over to Line because she lost 30% of the revenue on this platform. And I said, Oi, let's move over to Line. And we did. And we had a few lessons, and it was great. She's a lovely girl. She invited me to her wedding. I was like, really? Her husband's, she's not a husband yet. Her fiance is a lawyer, believe it or not, very educated. And she invited me to the wedding and everything. But to be honest with you, trying to learn advanced Thai from the UK is very, very difficult because I'm not in that environment. So what I said to Oi, I said, look, Oi, wait till I get to Thailand. We'll knock it on the head for now. I sent her a little present. You know, I sent her a few $1,000 because she's a nice girl. And I said, look, you know, I'm going to knock it on the head. Here's something. Buy your husband a dinner or something like that. And then I packed it in. And I will go back to her when I'm in Thailand, and I'll start again. You've got to be living in that environment. You've got to be listening to it. You've got to be using it. In the UK, you know, the closest I can get to speaking Thai is if I go to the local Thai massage. And yes, we have got one in our town. I know the next question. The answer is I don't know. I've never been in there. Okay. Crabclaw, I can spill Thai Sawadee. Okay, I think that's right. Karam Fran from the jungle again. I watch Thailand Bound, Eddie and Buzzing Channel, the odd bit of NDTV too. They're all the best in my opinion. I like personalities, and you can't beat Eddie, Pete, and Trevor. Right, the check's in the post. Let's get that check written out to you. You say the right things. Now, yeah, thank you for that, Matt. I do appreciate that. Not a lot. Some people they contact me and say, "Hey, what happened between Nick Dean and Martin?" And honestly, I don't know. You know, they don't sort of call me up and say, "This has happened." I don't know, but there's something's gone on, hasn't there? But I don't know what it is. and I don't know. Right, who's this? Boohoo. Paddy got to. Oh, okay, I won't read it out. Was it saying? Okay. You see, I don't vet my comments. I just, because if I read them first and put them up, it'd take twice as long to do the stream. So I just put them up. Right. All the Thai massage parlors in the UK are knocking shops. Okay, Martin, how do you know that? That's the next question. It wouldn't surprise me, actually. Right. We have got one here. It's just opened up a while ago. We've actually got two in this town. I'm in a market town. Hi, Peter. What advice have you got for starting out on YouTube? I'm still working on my channel. Right, this is not something everybody would want to hear about, but I will be brief. It depends what your channel is about. What I would say is this. This is only I might know nothing, right? What I would say is don't look to copy, emulate anybody else. Don't go look at a load of channels saying, I like what that guy's doing. I'm going to do what he's doing, because you will be second rate, because he's good at what he does because of his personality, who he is or what he does, right? Find your own market, all right? And be genuine. Just go on. When I first started doing live streams, I had 2 people on the first stream waiting, and by the end of the stream, I had 27 people in it. I've deleted it now, right? But you know, if you are people don't want to see BS, right? If you do a stream or you make a video, just be yourself, be honest, tell it how it is, and people will take to you. Okay, that's the only advice I can give you. Just don't try to be somebody else on YouTube. It will not work. There's a guy called Mr. Beast. He's like, I don't know if he's the biggest YouTuber or one of the biggest. He gives away like hundreds of thousands of pounds because he makes so much money. For him, he can do it. And there must be 1,000 channels who are trying to be Mr. Beast. They copy him, but they never will be, because you can't be good at somebody else, can you? Just be yourself. Right. Mahone Solutions. Give me your views on Thai Airways, Peter, if you have used them. Martin from Hull. Yeah, absolutely great. I love Thai Airways. I mean, what I would say about them, there's 2 airlines that I would use if you're leaving from the UK. I would say Eva Air, Thai Airways. That's all I use because I want a direct flight. I don't go through the Middle East, right? Eva Air are good because they have slightly cheaper tickets than Thai Airways. The downside of it is their customer service really it pretty much sucks. There isn't any. I found the customer service when I've tried to contact Eva Air, it's very, very difficult. Okay, so that's the downside. The positive side is that their prices are good. Okay, Thai Airways, slightly more expensive. Positive things about it: if you're in Thailand, you can phone up Thai Airways in Bangkok. They have people who speak English. It'll actually say press 3 for English. You might wait 20 minutes, but you will get somebody. You can change your ticket very easily, and they're very accommodating. You might get charged 1,000 baht. But the best thing about Thai Airways is when you've done all your immigration check-in, you've done everything, you get on the plane, they shut the doors, they do the safety check. They're all Thai trolley dollies, aren't they? Trolley dollies. And you feel like your holiday's started because they're Thai. They're not Chinese, they're Thai, okay? So, yeah, I mean, no problems whatsoever with Thai. Some other people might have, but I haven't, okay? Right, a nomad overseas again. I see a bunch of people went to the Thai festival in Manchester over the weekend, but I don't really get the point of it. Only reason I could think to go if you had a Thai wife or something. Well, it was actually a ladyboy competition, wasn't it? And I don't think it was aimed at people who go to Thailand regularly. It's a show. It's something different, isn't it? Because the Thai ladyboys, they look extremely attractive for men in a nutshell. And it's something fascinating, isn't it? So when you get the large coach tours of Koreans and Japanese and Chinese go to Alcazar in Pattaya, it's because it's a fascination. It is, look at these men with all the feathers and the boobs, and they look like girls. So I would imagine it's the same in the UK. The people who go to the show are they're either interested because they've never seen it before, or they are big fans of ladyboys. Crabclaw, Peter is all right. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Boohoo, Peter has the market. Peter has the market, and He's not even. Oh, okay. Thank you, possible. Do you know what, guys? I hate to do this because I'm going to lose about 50 people. But you know what? I've been going for nearly 3 hours. Those daisies will not water themselves. Whew, that's a load off, Mum. I've been holding that for about an hour, thinking I'll end the stream any minute. What happens? When you're doing this stream, you look at the time and think, oh, well, it won't be much longer. And you keep going, and you're holding it, and you keep going, and you think, I've got to either end the stream or go for what I've just done. Daisies are looking good, though. I'll take a photograph of them one day and show you. Right, okay, let's get serious again. I'm actually feeling a little bit tipsy now. Right, Mazza, how you doing? Right, I'm 39 and my favorite Thailand channels are Peter and Ed. I like many others, but do you know, when you've got favorite YouTube channels, I think a big factor of it is your age, because, like people like Dan, I've never, ever actually watched Dan the Man, but I've heard him referenced and people have said about him. I know he's a younger guy, and that Chris guy, he does all the camera angles, doesn't he? So I know younger guys like to watch them. So I think, your popularity really depends on your age group as well, because I know, I mean, you do get one or two guys in here who are younger, and it's always nice to have them. But, I'm guessing we're all about the same age. Right. Okay. Gemini Star says, Eva Air wine is served throughout the duration of the flight. I had a bad experience with a cheese roll on I'm not going to go into it here, but I think I mentioned it before. I was on an Eva Air night flight from Heathrow, and I had a bad experience with a cheese sandwich. That's another story. Right. Mike Kelso, I'm flying Etihad when it's the only TUI had on the plus side. Let me read that again. I'm flying Etihad when it's the only airline TUI. What's TUI? I'm a dinosaur. I don't know what TUI stands for. Had on the plus side. I'm going to try and bag a free upgrade and do airside as overtime. All right. The healthiest buffalo in Thailand, yeah, with the big long horns. Right, a nomad overseas. So lots of contributions from you, Peter. I hope your neighbours can't see you when you pop outside for a sec. I've got a really big garden. It's kind of not like a big like that, but it's kind of long and narrow, but it goes down, and at the end it dips down where this building is. And when I'm outside, I'm completely I could stand there and no, I won't go there, but no, they can't. Okay, thank you, Franco. TUI is an airline. Well, you know me, Frank, I'm a dinosaur. I wouldn't know that, but thanks. Right, Paul Shackleton, you still here? Hang on, there you are. Right, I relate to you, Peter. I'm 51, but Thailand has kept you young. Really? All right. Dan the Man is okay if you have plenty of... Okay. Right. Crabclaw, Peter, are you from Great Britain? I would say it used to be. It's not anymore, but yes, I live in England. I wouldn't call it Great Britain anymore. I live in England, yeah. And I'm leaving for good. Poor Hoskins, I didn't know you'd gone anywhere. Where you been? Right. Sawan again, you still I'm 29 and this Laugh At You YouTube channel recommended me this channel. I am 29, and this LOL YouTube channel recommended is this page 50. Okay, so a friend of yours who was 50 plus recommended this channel, and you're a glutton for punishment. You like punishment, okay? That's why you're here. Thank you. Right, someone says, Hard Tulip says, I don't have a garden. All right, you'll have to kind of stick it out the window stealthily, won't you? Right. Canary spreads his wings. Just watched your second 30 tips. Once again, you catch me by surprise right now. Good reminders, especially the banknotes. Yeah. I told you, I had a guy wrote to me. He said, why you make these videos? They've all been done 10 years ago. It's like, do you remember Dave the Rave? He was a big character in Bangkok, and he was a friend of mine. And I actually named him Dave the Rave. Dave the Rave was a kind of legend of Bangkok. He ran a lot of bars, been in Thailand for about 30 years or something. Good friend of mine. And he lost his legs. He got some kind of disease. They wrongly diagnosed him. And when he came back, I went to visit him. He came onto my live stream and he trolled me and he slagged me off. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was gobsmacked. I thought, here's a guy who I've known for 30 years. I bought him plenty of drinks in Thailand because bar managers aren't on great salaries, right? So I'd buy him 2-3 drinks and I wouldn't expect anything back, right? You know, I've helped him out with advice. I've done a lot of things for him, and he came onto my channel and he utterly slagged me off, right? I couldn't believe it. I was actually very upset about it, but you know, what can you do? That's people for you. Right, okay, Crabclaw. Cool. My dad was in World War II in the 3rd Armored Division. They saved your English asses. Yeah, well, you should. 4 miles from my house is an disused American airfield called Grafton Underwood. You can look it up on Google. But I actually did a video because, like I say, it's 4 miles from my house. It's only had a couple of thousand viewings because it doesn't go with the theme of this channel. But because I know it very well, I didn't have to do a lot of research. You might find that interesting. Just put in Grafton Underwood World War II airfield and you'll see a load of them. But obviously, it'll say Thailand bound. You don't see my face in it, but you hear my voice. I give you the whole history. I walk around the base where the runways were, the watchtower, even the living conditions, and I put in some old photographs so you can see what it was. So if you're into that sort of thing, but yeah, look, in a serious note, yeah, my download, they saved your English. I'll tell you what, without the Americans, we probably would have been under the Third Reich. We as English like to think we wouldn't have been, and obviously there's a lot of people out there. You know, we had some real big heroes in the Second World War, but yeah, the Americans, yeah, special relationship. What else can I say? Right, Paul Hoskin again. Will you miss the gardening? No, because I will do the gardening in Thailand, but I'll have to be very, very careful. Right, Will Smith. I'm the same as you, Peter. I'm 66 and shipping out to Thailand in January. I don't know about you, Will. The only thing that kind of worries me about relocating out to Thailand for good is it's all very well having you know, good health insurance and knowing you're covered and all the rest of it. But I don't know where you are, but in the UK, if I was walking down the high street or in the town or whatever, and I had a massive heart attack and I dropped, within 20 minutes, I would be on the hospital table. But can you imagine walking around the MBK Centre and then you had a heart attack? It'd taken 3 hours just to decide to put you in a taxi or the back of a pickup truck. That's the only thing that kind of scares me about Thailand. But, you know, you can't live your life thinking, I better not do this because this might happen, because you might as well stay in bed all day because, you know, right. Karim Farang from the jungle. Feel like a 21-year-old when I'm in Pattaya or Sukhumvit. Yes, but can you perform like a 21-year-old? That's a big question. Right, Seamus, how you doing, mate? Late in, but good to see you. I'm 30 and this channel alongside Ed's are my favorite. That's good to know, Seamus. Maybe there's a lot of bullshitters at the lower end. I don't know. I'm not going to name anybody. Right, only in Thailand. Mike Kelso had 26 cheap and cheerful cruises with Thompson. Okay, you don't work for Thompson, do you? Only joking. Right, let's catch up on these. You got a lot of comments from you tonight, Sharma. Okay, good night, guys. It's in India. I hope, Sharma, I hope you like that story that I read out on the channel the other night from India. It could have even been yours. I can't remember, but it was very good. Now there you go. Taxi to Life says good night to you. Yeah, look. PA Comanche says, fantastic grafting video. Everyone should watch it. But the thing is, you've got to be into the history, haven't you? Because if you come on my channel because you want to know about like banging Thai birds, let's break it down as what it is, then you wouldn't be interested in that. But I'm very proud of that video. That people ask me, what's your favorite video you've ever made? I've got over 300 on the channel now. And believe it or not, that one. I'm very proud of that one, but it's had the least amount of viewings. No Name says, hey, Peter, you sneaked in another stream. Well, the thing is, No Name, the reason why I've done it is because we were scheduled today to do a stream, Ed Sweeney and myself. We've decided to do one together. Ed Sweeney and I on camera, we kind of hit it off. We I don't know, it goes really well, you know. People seem to enjoy it, and we almost kind of know what each other are going to say. So we've decided to do a stream at the end of the month, every Sunday, and Ed's busy because he's doing his Romanian thing, isn't he? So I did write to him today and say, come and let's do a stream. He said, look, I can't do it. And he's been genuine. He couldn't. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'll do it by myself. Damien, where are you? You haven't gone to bed, have you? I haven't seen any comments from you for a while. Right. Daniel Mills, wouldn't have been any worse off. Okay. Right. Narcissistic dog, woof, woof. Is the flight ticket getting any cheaper? It's actually more expensive. You know, a flight from the UK direct was anywhere from sort of 550, 575. I have found tickets at about sort of 650, but they're far and few between. That's a real good beer. It really is. Oh, wow. Right. Nearly 3 hours now. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's get a few more in. Okay. Mazza says, Pete, I stopped off at the USAF Grafton Underwood Memorial today on my way back from Rutland Water. Did you really? Did you watch the video I put up there, the Grafton Underwood video? I'll tell you what's really good. In the village of Grafton Underwood, in the church, St. James the Apostle, which was first built, the original in the 17th century, they have a stained glass window. And from the outside, the church is locked now. It used to be left open, but you get dickheads go in there and play about, right? So they lock it. There's a stained glass window, and from outside, it doesn't look anything. But when you go inside, it's a B-17 Flying Fortress, and it's fantastic. If you go onto Google and just type in Grafton Underwood B-17 stained glass window, you'll see it. It's really nice. They're turning the airfield into a visitor center. The whole it's gonna they did right. Okay, this isn't a World War II stream. Let's talk about Thailand. Okay, whereabouts is the background Canary Spreader's Wing? I think I'm saying I think because I don't know, but I think it's Phetchaburi Road, not to be confused with New Phetchaburi Road, which is at the other end of Soi 3. So come out of Soi 4, Soi 3, past the Grace Hotel on the right, go right to the end, New Phetchaburi Road, where all the GIs in the Vietnam War used to hang out. It wasn't Pat Pong, it was New Phetchaburi Road. All the bars used to be there. Then they migrated over to Pat Pong. Too much. You didn't ask that, did you? But there you go. So I think it's Phetchaburi Road because I think Pantip Plaza's along there. Right. Franco again. Mark Hanley, you're back again, Franco. Nice of you to join us. I've realised where I made the mistake. Friday, I got Hoskins mixed up for Hopkins. Yeah, Paul Hoskins. He's the guy who comes in and tells all the dirty jokes. I'm Peter Hopkins, the guy who does a stream. Right. Austin Powers, when are you going back, Peter Pan? I've answered that about 10 times tonight. Probably holiday in August, September, full-time October, November. Right, Will Smith again. I'm in London. I would rather spend my pension in Thailand where it will go much further. Yeah, it is expensive, Thailand now. But if you live there, you can work it out to kind of live cheap. And you know what? I've run out of beer. All bets are off until I pour this. I've got to knock it on the head soon, guys. I've got to work tomorrow, really. I haven't even had a shower yet. The problem with these streams, you know, you get into it and when you start, you think, well, it's Sunday, I'll do 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 30 is a cut-off time. But you know, I'm like you, I've got nothing better to do. You're watching me because there's bugger all on TV, and you're probably having a glass of wine or a beer, and it's easy listening, isn't it? And for me, I'm sort of having a nice, relaxing evening as well. But that's the problem because I'm having a beer, I'm enjoying it, and I can't stop. I'll have to soon, though. Right, cheers. Okay. Crabclaw says, bro, we've still got 350 people watching now. For about an hour, I had 440 people in. I put the Ladyboy competition on, and it went, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. But that's still a lot of people. Guys, I'm really happy to see you here. I'm seriously thinking now to change the stream from a Friday to 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Would that be a good idea, or is that too early? Do you prefer? Let me know, because I don't know. I'm just doing it on guesswork, right? So at the moment, I do a stream every Friday, 9 p.m. UK time. Shall I change it to Sunday, 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m.? I don't know. Maybe guys like it 7 p.m. because they've got to get up for work in the morning. Thanks, Corinne. I appreciate that. I'll put it up because I can't really pronounce your name, but thank you. Ken, you're a lightweight. You going to bed? No, stay. Don't turn the computer off. Okay, thanks for joining us. Right, Prior 9, haven't seen you tonight. Good to see you in. Yeah, a lot of BS at the other end. Hardly any of them have enough Thailand knowledge and experience. You don't know I have. I could be a BS, right? I could be coming on here making these videos, 30 tips about Thailand, and maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I watched a couple of videos today and I thought, I listed them all down. I made a video. That could be me. You never know, right? But thanks for your support. Right, Matthew, join late, Peter. Are we getting the whiskey going? Mate, Matthew, you're way behind. You're like 2 miles behind the race. Look, number 2. 3 hours now. I think we're nearly there. Right, okay. Let's do a few comments. Paul Shackleton. I can't wait for the next episode of the US Navy Guns Experience. Could even be a new... You know me, guys. My hobby, I like anything Second World War, especially aviation. You know, I got a pilot's license. It took me about a year to get it. It's not as expensive as you think it is. But I'll give you the heads up. The... what's his name? Steven Spielberg is making a new series at the moment. He's making it here in the UK, about 30 miles away from my house, with Tom Hanks, and it's called... Do you know, I shouldn't have built that up because I can't remember what it's called. But basically, what it's about... Do you remember the film Memphis Belle? That's what it's about. So, do you remember Band of Brothers? Every week you had Band of Brothers, the army thing. It's kind of that that kind of format, but it's about the guys who used to go off in the B-17s on bombing raids. We had a lot of bases in the UK in the Second World War. I'm surrounded by American airfields, disused, of course. I've got 10 American airfields within 12 miles of my house. I could reel them off here. I played on all of them as a kid, right? Masters of the Sky, I think that's what it's called, Masters of the Sky. And it's going to be like kind of Band of Brothers, but they've made this set. Steven Spielberg's made this set, which has got billions to make it look like a Second World War airfield. I can't wait for that. But anyway, this is Thailand bound, not US Air Force bound. Right. Well, Pete, I'm from Grafton, Massachusetts, USA. Small world. Have a look at the video. You'll love it. If you're into history. I enjoyed the Bridge on the River Kwai video, one of my favorites of yours. Yeah, that was very moving, actually. When I was in Thailand, I went, you know the movie Bridge on the River Kwai. Kwai in Thai means, what does it mean? I've forgotten. I was just about to tell you. Right, the Bridge on the River Kwai, they made it into a film. And actually, that film wasn't actually filmed in Thailand. It was filmed, I think it's 1967, the movie Bridge on the River Kwai. That was actually filmed in, it wasn't Indonesia. It was close to Indonesia, but it wasn't, the important point was it wasn't filmed in Thailand. But the Bridge on the River Kwai, when I went there, I was a little bit disappointed because there was a lot of, even though they had COVID, there was quite a few tourists on the bridge. And I took it as a very solemn place, because a lot of nations' soldiers suffered and died building that bridge. And the tourists that I seen, I won't name what countries they're from, but they were kind of like, doing selfies, and it was almost kind of like disrespectful, but they couldn't really grasp the history like we do. But what was even better for me, a better experience, I went to Hellfire Pass. And what Hellfire Pass is, so they built the railway. People know the Bridge on the River Kwai. It's in Kanchanaburi, that area, right? Kanchanaburi. But if you drive about 70 miles, that seems like a long way. But remember, they're building a railway. 70 miles away from the Bridge on the River Kwai is what they call Hellfire Pass. Look it up. And what it is, they had a solid mountain, and they mainly Australian, they had soldiers from every nation, but mainly Australians. They dug through this mountain by hand. Yeah, they used explosives and stuff, but all the debris was taken away by hand, and it was terrible. And when I was there with my friend Simon, because of COVID, normally you get like coach loads of people streaming through there. It's almost like a supermarket line. When we were there, we were the only people there. The museum was closed. The museum is run by the Australians. Very good museum, apparently. I didn't see it because it was closed because of COVID. But we went to Hellfire Pass and walked the track. Very, very solemn. There was no one else there. You know, you've got metal spikes in this that had been hammered into the rock that had stuck there, that are still there to this present day. You've got flags from different nations. You've got tributes that are handwritten. You've got photographs of people who died. They're very, very moving, very moving. If you go to Thailand, try and make a visit to, if you're into that. I mean, you might be into only Mongrin, but Hellfire Pass, those sort of places, well worth a visit. Okay, right. Self-promotion now, Terry. You little tiger, you. Actually, I have a YouTube Thailand videos play on the TV watching you on my cell. Okay, fair enough. I took that the wrong way. I thought you were advertising there. Right. Running Man 21. Friday, Sunday streams are brilliant. Keep both every. I can't do two. I mean, I don't mean I can't do two because I'll run out of things. Yeah, I can come on and talk and have beers and all the rest of it. But the problem is, people will get bored of me very, very fast. You know, but the reason I do one a week is because people who like watching my streams, they look forward to it. And the odd Sunday's okay because I think, oh, he's on Sunday, we'll watch it. But if I did it regular every Sunday, it'd get boring. But I'm kind of thinking today I might change to Sundays when I finish my job, because I had not so much now, but I had more people in earlier than I have on a Friday, and I got nothing prepared. Dog, how you doing? Peter, you should make a side channel with videos about these World War II airfields in the UK. A lot of people here seem to be interested. Yeah, do you know what? That's a passion of mine. You know, I learned to fly. I learned to fly single piston aircraft just because I got so pissed off that I couldn't get onto a lot of airfields. Well, you can get onto them, but there's restricted areas, and I wanted to see them. So I learned to fly so I could fly over. They can't stop me flying over them, right? And that's anything World War II is a great hobby of mine. I love all the documentaries and stuff. And really, I'll tell you where I live. Right? You don't know my address. I've got no problem. I live in a town called Kettering in Northamptonshire. Kettering, Kettering. It's as exciting as watching paint dry. Okay, there's nothing here. But because we're in the middle of the country, the Americans in the Second World War built a lot of bomber bases around here. And Grafton Underwood, which is 4 miles from my house, was actually the first base that sent a squadron of 12 B-70s to bomb Germany. The Americans used to call it Grafton under mud when they first moved in. But we've got Deanthorpe, Grafton Underwood. I don't want to reel off all of them, but there's loads of them around here. And yeah, it's something to think about. But you know, this channel takes up so much of my time. To have a second channel, I don't know if I could do it. I might slip the odd one in, but you know, when you've made a video that's only got 2,000 viewings in a year, whereas Nat and Dave got 300,000 in 3 months, it's kind of hard to get motivated, isn't it? Steph is calling you out now on his stream and calling you paranoid. He's also playing your stream, so you should strike his channel for playing your content. That's a good idea. I don't even know what his channel is. What's his channel? What's his channel called? Right. Right. Martin Ryder says most USAF were in Essex and Suffolk, and at Norfolk and Northamptonshire. Actually, Norfolk had a lot. Right. Karen Frang of the Jungle. I saw it. I think you should both let it go. You need to play ground stuff. I saw it. I think you should both let it go. I don't know what that means actually. Right. Matthew Green. Peter, where in Thailand are you going to retire? I'm going to have to stay in Bangkok because my YouTube channel is. I'm going to have to be based in Bangkok. I'm definitely not going to be in Thailand because it's. Sorry, in Thailand. I'm definitely not going to be in Pattaya because I don't think I can bring anything new to the table. Martin Ryder. RAF bombers were in Norfolk, Lincolnshire, and Yorkshire. Yeah, true. Right. Paul Hoskin. I worked at Greenham Common with the B-52s. That's interesting, Paul. I'd like to meet you one day. Talk about that. Paul Shackleton. Peter, Friday was Billy East at Glastonbury. Tonight was Diana Ross. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Right, guys, it's over 3 hours. I've got to work tomorrow. I think I'm going to call it a night tonight. Look, it was an unplanned stream. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll see you on Friday for the next stream. Hopefully, I'll have a bit more involved. Until then, thanks for coming along tonight, guys. Have a good week. If you've got to work, if you're retired, whatever, but have a good one, okay?